We've got a double header here this afternoon here at OT because the women's team are in action a little bit later on as well. In fact, this is a very special day for everybody here at Emirates Old Trafford because it's Empower Play Day as well. So £1 from every ticket sold for today's games goes directly towards initiatives which will help out the development of the women's game in conjunction with the Lancashire Cricket Foundation. So much to look forward to. We have, of course, Lancashire Lightning versus Leicestershire Foxes up first this afternoon. And I'm joined by some very illustrious company. I've got Keaton Jennings, the club captain, and Melinda Farrell, Australian cricket journalist, who is with us as well this afternoon. Great to see you guys. Great to have you with us this afternoon. Keaton, let's first of all address the fact that you're out here with me this afternoon instead of out there with the boys. You've got this hamstring injury, haven't you? How are you getting on at the moment?
Yeah, getting on. A little bit frustrating, obviously. It's a sort of a fairly severe tear, so I've got a fair few weeks here, left. But yeah, it's coming along. There's a lot of hard work going on. My medical staff are brilliant, so it's just about staying patient and just making sure you respect the fact that there has been an injury and you don't try and rush the process.
How long before we see you back in a Lancashire shirt, do you think?
Hopefully soon. But yeah, like I said, there's still a fair few weeks left. Had an MRI recently, so progress is good, although it's slow with it being a tendon, so you just got to respect the fact that there's a tear in there and you just kind of go from there.
How are you as a watcher?
Terrible, absolutely terrible. I'm an active person at the sort of best of times, so to sit down and be told to rest is fairly hard work. Yeah, so I'm a bit of a pain in the bum for our medical staff at the minute, but yeah, it's all fun and games.
We wish you the best in your recovery.
Cheers,
Melinda, great to have you with us as well. I mentioned there the fact that it's Empower Play Day. How have you assessed over the last few years the explosion, the growth in the women's game? It's been incredible, hasn't it?
Well, it has been really incredible. I mean, we saw 86,000 people at the MCG at the T20 World Cup. I was in South Africa a couple of months ago to see a packed out Newlands for South Africa playing Australia in the final there. So we've seen it on an international level, but then at domestic level, probably with the WBBL, then you see the 100 come in, and then these other competitions with the Charlotte Edwards Cup and also the Rachel Hayhoe Flint Trophy. Massive explosion again with the Women's Premier League in India. It just feels like the quaint times of a couple of years ago are a long way away. But people talk about Australia's success in women's cricket for a long time. Well, that has been built on the back of domestic competitions. That is the backbone and the reason why Australia have so much depth in their side. So it's really exciting to see just how much is being done here now with these domestic competitions, and I think that bodes well for the future of women's cricket in England.
We've got the Thunder versus the Blaze in the Charlotte Edwards Cup coming up very, very soon. But first of all, we have to go and decide who is going to be batting and bowling first. The captains are here for the coin toss, which is going to be going on very, very shortly. Liam Livingstone, of course, is the new man who is in charge, who has the captain's armband now. We can see over on this far side. Let's go and see what happens, because there they are, the men in the middle. And Liam, of course, now the new captain for the T20 side. Now they're going to have the toss in just a second. Just having a quick word with the umpires. We'll have a word with Liam just as soon as the toss is made. Beautiful afternoon here at Emirates Old Trafford. A little bit of cloud around in the air, which could have an effect on the conditions this afternoon. But we're expecting and hoping for a little bit of sunshine a little bit later on as well, which we'll see how the conditions change throughout the afternoon. As I say, right here on Lancs TV, the whole game coming up live, of course, as Lancashire Lightning take on Leicestershire Foxes. And then don't forget, later on, the Blaze are the visitors against the Thunder here in the Charlotte Edwards Cup. There we go. The handshakes have been made. Let's see if we can have a quick word with Liam. Liam, just going to have a quick picture just before we get things all sorted out. Nice to see, and we'll bring Liam in. Liam, first of all, many congratulations on taking the captaincy. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's nice to be back. I obviously did it a few years ago, so bit of a different person and player now, so yeah, really looking forward to it.
What's the toss then, as far as the verdict is concerned in this trip? What have you decided?
They won the toss, they're going to bat, we were going to bowl anyway, so yeah, it's worked out perfectly.
So you are happy with that as far as this is concerned?
Yeah, we thought that the pitch was a little bit greener than what we've seen here, so if it does anything, it'll be first up today. So yeah, hopefully it nips around for a couple of overs.
You got the first win in the bag while you were away, but what does your team do this afternoon? What changes are you making?
Yeah, we've got 2 changes, I think. 3 changes. Salty's back in, I'm back in, and Saki's back in. Jonesy misses out. Bales misses out and someone else misses out. There's too many changes, I can't remember.
But as far as the squad is concerned, it is incredibly strong again this year, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's something we pride ourselves on, making sure lads come through the system and onto international cricket as well as franchise cricket. So hopefully in a couple of games' time we'll have Josh back as well. So yeah, I think it'll be great for all the fans to have these sort of players playing. So hopefully we can put on a show today.
We wish you the best. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Liam Livingstone, the new captain here of the T20 side, and Lancashire taking on Leicestershire. It's the Lightning versus the Foxes. A brilliant atmosphere building here around Emirates Old Trafford. Let's get in amongst the fans. I think Neha is out there. Leicester won the toss.
Hello, we are here in the fan village. All of our fans are slowly coming in. It's a glorious day at Emirates Old Trafford today, and I found some lovely fans. Hello, I'm going to come and have a little chit chat with you. How are you?
Thank you very much, yes.
What's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Harvey, I live near Chester.
And what's your name? Where are you from?
Mike, I live in Runcorn.
Amazing. Now, is this your time at Emirates Old Trafford?
Oh, no, I'm a season ticket holder, so I come here on a regular basis.
Amazing.
Since I was a kid, yeah.
Okay, so a very big fan.
Very big fan. Okay.
Now, do you always come together, or have you come today with some more friends that you've made?
No, we've been together this season simply because we've got a story behind that which I won't go into.
A story for another day.
Yeah, a story for another day, yeah.
Amazing. What are you all drinking, by the way?
That's a flat white.
Starting with coffee.
Okay, so we're starting with the coffee.
We'll go on to the harder stuff a bit later on.
Okay, right, okay, love that. And who's your favourite player?
Ooh, who's my favourite player? I like Liam Livingstone. I like his attitude to the game.
Amazing. And what about you?
Jimmy.
Amazing stuff. Well, we hope you enjoy the game. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Aren't our fans lovely? Right, okay, so we've got a little bounce castle over there. So if you guys see me today, you're probably going to find me on the bounce castle. I'm going to come and have a little chat. Hello. How are you? What's your name?
Nick.
Hello. Is this your first time at Emirates Old Trafford?
Oh no, I've got plenty of times.
Plenty of time.
Yeah.
What's brought you here today? I mean, apart from the cricket.
Also the weather helps.
The weather?
Yeah.
I know, but we don't always get a bit of sun in Manchester, do we?
No. So we've got to be pleased when it arrives.
Absolutely. And who is your favourite player?
I would say Josh Butler, but he's not playing today.
No. Anybody else?
I like Parkinson as well.
Okay.
And I always forget his name. The other spinner, I can't think of his name. Yeah, there's quite a few. I like Stephen Croft as well.
Amazing. And also, have you made any friends whilst here, or are you here by yourself today?
No, there's 4 of us coming today. I'm meeting another 3 friends today.
Oh, amazing. Have you made friends whilst coming to the cricket?
Oh yes, nearly every week.
Every week?
yeah.
Amazing. Well, we hope you have a good time. Right, we're going to go find somebody else. I feel like everybody's having a little bit of a munch right now, having a little bit of food. We've got some games as well for the kids, so cricket's not just for older men, as many people like to think. You know, it's a good family event. Hop on down, let's see who else we can find. Hello. How are you guys? Are you okay? What's your names and where are you from?
I'm Ahmed and I'm from Bolton.
My name is Yahya and I've come from Bolton too.
Hello. Nice. Now, is it your first time here today? It is. How do you feel that you're actually here at Emirates Old Trafford?
Excited.
Do you have a favourite player?
Of course, obviously there has to be one. It's probably.
He's not playing.
Oh, okay. And who else have you come with? Are you all friends today? Amazing. Well, we hope you have an amazing time and enjoy your first trip at Emirates Old Trafford. Oh, hello. Hello, girls. I feel like I can't. Wow. What are your names?
Alicia. Danielle.
I mean, I've never felt so small in my life. I mean, I know I'm only 5'5", but still. What has brought you here today?
So we're here under the company AJK Entertainment, which is mine, and I'm bringing Danielle here, that's a stilt walker, with me. We're having a fantastic day so far. We're here at the Emirates Old Trafford, and it's such a pleasure to be here, and we're really proud to be part of the contract.
Oh, amazing, guys. Well, you're doing a fabulous job. You look great as well.
Thank you.
And I'm sure I won't lose you. I'm sure I'll see you a little bit later on in there.
Absolutely. Have a fantastic day.
Amazing. Well, that's it from the fan village. We'll catch up with you a little bit shortly.
Yes, indeed, joined by a very illustrious guest. He's been globe-trotting around the world, but it's great to see that Phil Salt is back here among us at Emirates Old Trafford. Phil, great to see you. First of all, when did you get back? How are you feeling?
I got back Sunday night, feeling good. I was very aware that after the IPL came this, so I've been looking forward to it for a while now.
It has been an incredible few months for you, hasn't it? Let's start, first and foremost, congratulations on becoming a world champion with England. That must have been seriously special.
Yeah, it was special. To be honest, it's not really had the time to sink in as yet. It's sort of been non-stop since then, but I look back on that day. I've looked back on it a lot of times now over the last few months, and it's unbelievable.
What are your overriding emotions and your favourite memories of that particular tournament?
Oh, mate, the final was a hell of a game. I think everyone's nerves were in pieces at the end, but it was just good to be a part of it and to be lifting the trophy at the end of the game, stood on the outfield at the MCG.
From there, jetting all over the world, finally ending up as part of the IPL as well with the Delhi Capitals. What were your overriding thoughts on that particular experience as well? Because that is one hell of a tournament, isn't it?
Yeah, it was great to be there. It was great to be a part of the Delhi Capitals. It was a shame how the tournament went for us. We didn't have the best start, and that put us on the back foot for the rest of the campaign, really. But from a personal point of view, it was good to get out there and play in those conditions with a World Cup there at the end of the year. It's just, more than anything, it was an opportunity I've been longing for a while now. I've been working really hard, and that's been my focus, getting into the IPL. So to finally get there, it was pretty special for myself.
And it is an amazing tournament. As you say, not quite the sort of performances that Delhi would have wanted, but for you personally, some great performances.
Yeah, I was very happy with that. You always have questions when you go to a league as big as that. How am I going to do? But I contributed well as part of a very good side. It's just a shame we couldn't go further in the comp.
So back home and straight into it, part of the Vitality Blast, and looking forward to a great tournament this year?
Yeah, I love the club. I love being here. It's great to be back with the boys. It's a great dressing room. It's full of the best lads. The coaching staff's brilliant. Venue's great. I love playing for Lancashire, so really thrilled to be back.
You're back. Liam Livingstone is back. We're going to have Josh Butler again before too long as well. You should have a really strong side this season, shouldn't you?
We've got a very strong side. I think last year it was sort of still a bit of taste in it, coming runners up. I mean, that's across all formats as well, not just T20. So I think the boys are really going to have a point to prove this year.
We wish you the best of luck. Salty, go well. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. Phil Salt there, part of the team, taking on the Leicestershire Foxes this afternoon here at Emirates Old Trafford. So, as you've been hearing, Leicestershire Foxes have won the toss and they've decided to bat. The team sheets are in and the visitors' side is as follows. First of all, number 67, Nick Welch. Number 1, Saul Buddinger. Number 7, Aaron Lilly. Number 48, Colin Ackerman. Number 24, Vian Mulder. Number 26, Rishi Patel. Number 16, Rayan Ahmed. Number 28, Harry Swindles. Number 10, Callum Parkinson. Number 44, Will Davis. And number 71, Nassim Shah. And your Lancashire Lightning side for this afternoon is as follows. Number 3, Luke Wells. Number 17, George Bell. Number 7, Phil Salt. Number 23, Liam Livingstone. Number 15, Stephen Croft. Number 75, Daryl Mitchell. Number 77, Colin de Grandhomme. Number 14, Luke Wood. Number 2, Tom Hartley. Number 25, Saqib Mahmood. And number 28, Matt Parkinson.
Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh.
So welcome back. As you've heard, the team sheets are out. Leicestershire Foxes have won the toss. They've decided to bat. Keaton Jennings and Mel Farrell are alongside me. Great to have you with us, guys, this afternoon. Keaton, your thoughts? Leicestershire winning the toss, deciding to bat?
Yeah, probably the right call. First inning scores are fairly high here. We probably would look to bat first as well. I haven't been involved in the chats, but
you always bat first.
We always try to bat first. Try to get runs on the board and then try and sort of restrict through the middle phase of the game. In the same breath, we're fairly good at chasing. You know, we understand the ground, we understand the sort of weird dimensions of it. So hopefully we can go play some good cricket and restrict them to an under par score.
Mel, I had a little chat there with Liam Livingstone and also Phil Salt. Joss Butler won't be far behind as well. When you look at the quality and the strength in depth that Lancashire have this season, what do you make of it?
I was just looking before at the team sheet. You go down that team sheet and there's so much depth in power hitting when you look all the way down. A couple of interesting bowlers too to watch though from the visitors today. I'm looking forward to seeing Raheed Ahmed and also to see Nasim Shah, who's been here only a couple of days, I think. I think he's been here one more day than me in the country. So if he's feeling as jet lagged as I am, it might be a bit interesting. But yeah, the exciting talent there, they'll be up against this Lancashire side. Super strong batting lineup.
It's an interesting question, that, isn't it? The fact that we'll have a lot of players that are coming back from the IPL. They've only finished playing a couple of weeks ago. Some of them have been involved in international cricket as well. How much is that going to take out of the players coming back into a really difficult competition like this?
Yeah, look, I think the guys these days are fairly sort of attuned to sort of getting up and playing. The guys have had a couple of days off. Salty had a day off and came straight back into the change room. So one, shows you the passion the guys have playing for Lancashire. The guys have one day off from an IPL, hectic sort of schedule, and they're straight in. But two, that the guys want to play cricket and they're here and they're keen to play and sort of perform. But they are used to it. They're used to the sort of stresses of it. At the end of the day, like I said, the guys love playing here.
These are two sides, Mel, that have got a rich history in this competition. They absolutely love to play it. Lancashire just fell at the final hurdle last year. But that's what this game is about, isn't it? It's just such small, tiny little margins that it's easily that a game can go either way very, very quickly, very easily, isn't it?
It is, and it's been such a wonderful competition. I'm so excited to be back here. This is my first match since arriving in England, and I'm so excited to be here at Emirates Old Trafford. But the blast itself, I think there are a lot of fans out there who have such a passion for it. I've been seeing that even on Twitter. So many fans talking about it being back and having a real passion and care for this tournament. So it's just wonderful to be here and to be watching it. But fine margins all around. I expect it to be a pretty competitive match today.
Keaton, Lancashire got their opening win down at Edgbaston a couple of days ago. How important is it to keep that momentum going once you got that first win under the belt?
Yeah, massive. Look, I think it's really important just to play good cricket. It's a long tournament, so to continue to play good cricket all the way through. You will ebb and flow naturally. You're going to lose the odd game with it being so long. But if you keep playing good cricket, hopefully by the end of it, you put yourself in that sort of knockout phase, and then anything happens from there. But yeah, like you guys have said, the memories of last year are still sort of rich in the guys' heads.
I'm sorry to have to bring that up.
Don't stress, it's all right. But no, look, it's fantastic. And the guys played really well on Saturday, so hopefully you guys just carry on today.
How much of a motivating factor do you think that can be when you lose in a final by such a small margin? Does a coach maybe just have to point to that and say, look, you don't want to experience that feeling again?
I mean, I think some coaches do. It's always a funny one to deal with, isn't it, when you have a really heartbreaking loss, whether the coaches make you go through the whole thing again, or if they decide, actually, no, you know what, we're going to put that aside and we're going to just walk away from it. And I don't know how you guys did that, because sometimes it is like, let's put that to bed. And just, you know, take what we can from it, learn from it personally, but we don't want to relive it again? Or do you, you know, use it? Do you go back over it to find extra motivation?
Look, I think one, you need to know what sort of characters in the change room. I don't think our lads need any extra motivation. That sort of cut everybody quite deep. But you can look at it in the sense of we've got to finals day. There's 16 other sides in the country that didn't get there. We've got there. We put ourselves in that pressure cooker. And we gave ourselves the opportunity to win on finals day in front of a really good Edgbaston crowd and on Sky, which was awesome. The downside of that is you lose in a really sort of bizarre fashion by 1 run. So, look, I suppose it is what it is for a better cliche. The guys are better for the experience, tougher for the experience as well. I don't think it necessarily adds any more motivation, because I think as a player now you want to win 3 comps, you have motivation to do that anyway. But what it does do is it makes it that much more satisfying knowing that you can get there and you can win it.
We'll see how it goes. Mel, Keaton, thank you very much indeed for joining me. It's been great to have your company this afternoon. The game coming up very, very shortly. But just in case you're in need of a reminder, here's a check back on the rules.
Each match is played by 2 teams of 11 players. Some are batters, some are bowlers, and there's 1 wicketkeeper. Both teams have a chance to bat and bowl. Look out for the coin toss. That's how they decide which team bats or bowls first. Each team has 20 overs to score as many runs as possible. The team with the most runs wins the game. 1 over is made up of 6 good deliveries from the bowler. To score runs, batters hit the ball and run between the stumps. If the ball reaches the boundary, it's 4 runs, and if it gets there without bouncing, that's a 6. While the batting team are scoring runs, the bowling team are trying to stop them and get the batters out by taking wickets. A few ways batters can be out are bowled, caught, run out, stumped, and LBW. Watch out for signals from the umpires, 4s, 6s, wickets, and these when a bad delivery has been bowled. Bad deliveries add runs to the batting team's score, and the bowler must bowl an extra ball. If you see the umpire doing this, the next ball is a free hit, and the batter cannot be out bowled, caught, LBW, or stumped. And those are all the basics you need to know to get behind your team in this year's Vitality Blast competition.
Hello and welcome to C-Stand with our lovely fans. Hello. What are your names and where are you from?
From Burnley. I'm Quinn and I'm also from Burnley. I'm Adi and I'm from Rosendale.
And do you come very often, or is it your first game today?
We've come a few times last season to watch some matches.
I was going to ask, are you not meant to be at school today?
It's an inset day, so no school!
We love that. I mean, I think, are you sure your head teacher's not here, that you've got an inset day today? What a perfect day.
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite player?
Yeah, well, I've got a batter and a bowler favourite player. And the batter one is Livingstone, the bowler one is Matt Parkinson.
Oh, amazing. Have you managed to see Livingstone today? Have you given me a little cheeky wave?
Yeah, and I've got his signature on a little wooden bat.
Oh, amazing. Okay, so Dad, I'm assuming you bring the boys quite often.
Yeah, we were members last year, so we've renewed the membership this year, and we love the T20s, so we come along quite often, yeah.
I've got it.
Oh, amazing. And what brings you to cricket?
So we all play cricket, even me, just about still. All these 3 play for Rawtenstall, and we love coming watching T20 in particular for the atmosphere, and also for we all bet on who's going to hit the most 6s and see if we can catch one in the crowd as well.
Amazing. Well, we hope you have the best time. I'm going to go catch some more fans now, guys. Let's come over here. Hello, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Your name and where are you from?
Adam from Crewe.
Amazing. Now, is this your first time at Emirates Old Trafford?
No.
Not your first time. And what brings you here today?
Cricket, weather.
I know, I was saying we don't always get a lot of sun, do we, in Manchester? Do you have a favourite player?
Matt Parkinson.
Amazing. Also, don't forget we are streaming live today as well. Keep across all of our socials. Let's go see who else we can have a little chit chat with. Hello. Hello. What is your name and where are you from?
I'm Darrell and I'm from Greenmount.
Ooh, very nice. Is it your first time here today?
No, I've been a few times actually.
I'm not going to lie, I don't know where Greenmount is. I didn't do really well in geography.
It's famous Greenmount. We've had famous cricketers in Greenmount. The Neville brothers are from Greenmount. Yeah, who else are from Greenmount? Yeah, other good cricketers.
Amazing.
Greenmount.
And who are you most excited to see today?
It's a good question. Obviously Livingstone is always a good pulling the crowds in, but yeah, all of them like the bowling attack. I like Parkinson. So generally, yeah, Phil Salt, all very attacking players. So yeah.
Amazing stuff. Hello, where are you from?
Warrington.
Oh, you're not far. You're from round the corner. Amazing. I know where Warrington is, guys. You'll be happy to know I know where Warrington is. And are you here today? Is it your first time?
No, we came a few times last season, about fifth, sixth game, I think, today.
Are you a cricket fan too, or have you just been dragged in? Good, I'm glad to hear it. Well, we hope you have the most amazing time here today. Well, that's it from the C stand. We'll catch you shortly.
All right, so Livy, welcome back. Last time we seen you, you were undergoing quite a lot of rehab. How nice was it to get out to the IPL and play some cricket?
Yeah, it was nice to get back playing. Obviously spent a lot of time here during the winter in the gym, trying to get back. So, yeah, it was a bit of a slow start, trying to get back to match fitness. But as the IPL went on, I felt like I was getting closer and closer. So, yeah, fingers crossed I'm in pretty good nick now. And, yeah, it'll be nice to come into this competition having had some decent performances behind me as well.
And when you spend some time away, it must be nice to get back here to Emirates Old Trafford and see the lads and get back into the group again.
Yeah, it's always nice to come home. This is obviously the place I spend most of my time. So, yeah, it's nice to be home firstly, but also nice to be back at Emirates Old Trafford as well. So, no, like you said, looking forward to tomorrow.
And the big news is you're going to be captain of Lancashire Lightning in the Vitality Blast this summer. That must be an opportunity you're really excited by.
Yeah, it always is. I think we've got a really good squad. I don't think it's too difficult a job. We've got a lot of experience. We've got more experience coming back in. Hopefully Joss in the next couple of games as well. So yeah, I don't think it's a difficult task. I think we've got a lot of people to bounce ideas off, and hopefully the team should pretty much captain itself anyways. Just a few decisions here and there. So no, like you said, really looking forward to it. I've done it before, a bit of a different person now. So yeah, looking forward to the task ahead.
As you mentioned, you've done it before in 2018. What will you take from that experience into this time?
Yeah, I think I was a very different person and player back then. So I think my experience around the world over the last couple of years will obviously make things a little bit different for me. And like I said, we've got a lot of players to bounce ideas off, so it certainly won't just be me making all the decisions. There's a lot of lads to tap into and see what we think. So yeah, out there it should be pretty easy for me. And like I said, all the boys are really excited to get this tournament up and running. It was obviously a great win the other day, and hopefully we can build on some momentum from that.
And I guess just from your England career, you've played under Owen and Joss, two are probably the best captains around. You couldn't ask for anyone better to learn from than them two.
No, exactly, and I guess, yeah, it's obviously a very different role to what them boys have got to do, but like I said, hopefully just create an environment for the boys to enjoy their cricket, have loads of fun and hopefully win some games of cricket along the way.
And you touched on it there, the lads got off to a great start on Saturday. You've got you and Salty back in the fold, we've got Joss a little bit further down the line. It's just such a strong squad, isn't it?
It is, it's great. It's great for our fans as well to be able to watch, especially the likes of Joss, who's hopefully going to come back in. Depends how many times he can ignore my phone calls to get back. So. No, it'll be nice for the fans to be able to see that, and especially for someone like Salty, who's spent a bit of time at the IPL, played some games. That'll do him the world of good, and yeah, hopefully he can bring that skill and talent back to Lancs. And yeah, like you said, we started really well the other day. I was in the airport watching it on my iPad, so flight timings worked out perfectly. So we played some really good cricket, and there's loads of ways we can improve, and I guess that's the exciting part, that we won pretty easily the other day, and there's still loads of areas to improve on. So no, the boys are really excited. White ball cricket's always really good fun, and I guess that's the biggest thing, is keep the lads smiling, and yeah, like I said, hopefully win a few games along the way.
And now back-to-back home matches here at Emirates Old Trafford, a chance to put down a real marker and take command of the group early on.
Yeah, it is. It's somewhere that we've got a really good record for a reason. We know how to play T20 cricket here, so yeah, hopefully we can have the perfect start. 3 for 3 it'd be perfect, and yeah, but most of all, hopefully provide some entertainment for the home crowd. I guess that's what everybody wants to see here. So yeah, the boys are really excited for it.
Perfect, thanks Libby.
We've got Alex Hartley and Paul Houghton with me in the commentary box here. Paul, good afternoon, mate. You well?
Good, thanks.
Excellent.
I knew you'd have to switch me on. I'm good, thanks.
It's all right,
How are you?
It's all right, it's okay. I'm good, thank you. Just discussing kind of Liam Livingstone, and for viewers on Lax TV, just seen the interview with Liam Livingstone, captain this year in the T20, at least until Keaton's back fully fit. It's a job you've done. What do you reckon about that?
Yeah, I think Alex was spot on. Yeah, Liam, for his own admittance, when he was a bit younger, would have done it. He would do it differently now than he did when he was younger. And he's obviously travelled the world and been a wonderful cricketer and amazing T20 competitions all around the world. So he has a lot of experience and exposure in T20 competitions. So he'll lead in his way, and he'll be different styles of Keaton Jennings. But you know, he's a formidable cricketer for Lancashire, and they'll be fine. Yeah, they have a lot of senior members in this lineup who lead with bat and ball. So it can run itself at times, T20 cricket.
I've got nothing more to add to that. That was great.
The fact he has played so much T20 cricket around the world, obviously at international level now, how much will he have learned from the different skippers he's played? I'm thinking even at England level, Joss and Owen. You know, I mean, how much will he take from these different captains he's worked with, do you think now?
Yeah, I think he will take some experience from different captains, but ultimately captaincy is about being true to yourself and true to who you are. I think when you try to be someone different and try and act in a different way, then it doesn't work for anybody, whether you're Liam Livingstone or yourself, Scott, to be honest. So you just got to be who you are, lead how you would like to do it, and trust your own gut and judgment, and that's what it's about really, and you can only do your best in that way.
And Phil Salt coming back in. We've mentioned Butler, we've mentioned Livingstone. For having Phil Salt as well for Lancashire, again, the experience, and we watched him play some IPL cricket this winter, haven't we, Alex? Again, you must gain so much from it.
Yeah, of course. And if you're one of the younger players and you're playing with these guys that are playing in the IPL, they're playing all around the world, you've got to learn from them. You've got to talk about their experiences, what they've learnt to do in certain scenarios. Phil Salt, he's not played in a winning IPL team this year. He's played in pretty average one, but he's still going to come away from that learning so much about himself as a cricketer, and how to play different scenarios, different situations, which bowlers he prefers facing. So if you're a younger player and you're playing with these lads, I think you have to be a sponge and you have to be asking all the questions, especially now Livingstone's captain.
Okay, we're not too far away from the start of this fixture. Our two umpires, Neil Mallender and Graham Lloyd, are on the edge of the boundary. We're just a few minutes away from the start of this T20 Blast fixture.
Ladies and gentlemen, Emirates Old Trafford, please give a warm welcome to our umpires this afternoon, Graham Lloyd and Neil Mallender. And please give a warm welcome to our visitors this afternoon, the Leicestershire Foxes. And their opening batters, Nick Welch and Sol Budinger.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
4,
3,
2,
1!
Emirates Old Trafford, please give it up for the Lancashire Lightning! Your Lancashire side this afternoon, number 3, Luke Wells. Number 17, George Bell. Number 7, Phil Salt. Number 23, the new captain, Liam Livingstone. Number 15, Stephen Croft. Number 75, Daryl Mitchell. Number 77, Colin de Grandhomme. Number 14, Luke Woods. Number 2, Tom Hartley. Number 25, Saki Mahmood. And number 28, Matt Parkinson.
So Liam Livingstone skippering Lancashire for the first time since 2018, I think it was. It feels like a long time ago since he had a full season in charge, and we wish him luck until Keaton is fully fit. Keaton Jennings is back fully fit, which hopefully won't be too far away, but I think we're looking at a few months at the very least. We're going to see Luke Wells to open up the bowling for Lancashire Lightning, and Nick Welsh on strike for the Leicestershire Foxes. Paul Houghton alongside me here, former captain of well, both these two sides. Skippered Lancashire in the Blast and captain of Leicestershire as well. Lunchtime start, 12:30. And I would say that's a really healthy turnout in terms of numbers inside the ground for kind of slightly awkward kind of midweek 12:30 start, Paul.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I was surprised. Obviously, the start time's early and it's a Thursday. But to get the amount of people that got into the ground today is great, and it looks like it will build through the afternoon, which will be even better for the fixture to follow.
Lancashire got to finals day again last year, and they lost against Hampshire in the final. They were runners-up in all three competitions last year. I think maybe of all three, maybe it was the Blast as the one that they may have felt is the one that got away. We'll discuss that in a minute, but here we go. First ball of the match. It's Luke Wood, left arm over the wicket, pulls a ball that's left by Welsh and just shapes back in and taken by Phil Salt, the keeper, and there is no run. So will there be a degree of wanting to set the record straight a bit, having basically thrown it away at finals day last year?
I think any time you lose a final is it's disappointing, and they want to obviously go and win competitions, and that's why they're all here. But Lancashire are a successful T20 cricket team and have been since its inception in this country, and they will always win a lot of T20 cricket games. So like I've said to the rounds, it's about getting to quarterfinals, winning 3 games and winning competition.
Wood to Welsh. Oh, he has a little swipe at a wide ball. In fact, it's so far wide it's signalled as a wide by the umpire. And into the gloves of Phil Salt, who keeps wicket. Lancashire have a slip in place, which is Darryl Mitchell, stood next to Phil Salt, who takes the gloves, having spent the last few months on IPL duty. And there's 2 fielders outside the circle for this power play. A deep square leg or deep backward square leg, and a deep backward point as well. So 3 inside the ring on the leg side, and 3 on the offside. Wood bowls. Oh, that rattles onto the pads of Welsh as he tries to work it away towards mid-wicket. Deflects down to gully where Luke Wells fields, and there's no run. So 1 without loss, which is the wide sent down so far. Tidy start by Luke Wood in this first over of the contest. Under cloudy skies, but it is quite a pleasant day. There's plenty of short sleeves and shorts as well, including Mr. Hawke.
Yeah, it would look a beautiful day, and you've got to trust the English weather. So I went for shorts. It's been lovely this week, so
why not? Here's Wood, left arm over, balls again, and that's swatted without any timing up towards mid-on, and there is no run. So it's nice to see plenty of people buzzing around the ground. Look forward to this double header. The first of a couple of double headers actually that Lancashire Lightning are involved in this summer, alongside the Thunder team. And we're playing in the Charlotte Edwards Cup a little bit later on. Wood in conversation with his skipper, Liam Livingstone, who's at mid-off. We're halfway through this first over. Wood bowling from the James Anderson end and starting his approach from beyond the 30-metre circle. And the fielding positions have just been re-altered. They brought in deep backward point, and mid-on has dropped back to long on. Wood bowls. That's off an edge down towards the third-man boundary, and it's 4 runs. And just as you move a fielder from one position, that's exactly where the ball goes. 5 without loss.
Yeah, I'm not sure he would have stopped it. It was a thick outside edge. It went past sort of backward point and short third man. Yeah, the field changes because of the intent from Welsh, the previous ball, to try and look leg slide and go over mid-on. I still think it would be a good position to have a deep backward point and have mid-on up in the ring. I think it'd be a big ask to hit Luke Wood at 88 mile an hour swinging in over mid-on.
Wood steams his way back in, balls again. That's shuffled forward and punched up towards mid-off by Welsh, and darts through for a quick single. There's Livingstone coming up from mid-off to complete the fielding. Score moves on to 6 without loss, with 1 ball remaining of the first over of the game. And so Budinger takes guard for the first time, having watched the previous 5 deliveries from the Anderson end. They've got a left-hand, right-hand combination out in the middle, with Budinger the left-hander. So fielders all switch position. Still got a slip in place, and then deep backward square leg and deep backward point. So Wood will bowl left arm round the wicket to Budinger. Tap of the bat. Oh, he's over the wicket, and that squirts away actually up towards the offside. Pick up and throw from Bell. decent effort trying to run Budinger out. Just bounced over the top of the stumps, and they do safely get through for a single. And that completes the first over of the match with 7 runs from it. That boundary down to kind of wide third man off the bat of Nick Welch, and the single from Saul Budinger as well. So 7 without loss, 1 over gone here live from Emirates Old Trafford on Lancs TV, the BBC Sport website and app, 5 Live Sports Extra. Scott Reed and Paul Horton with you to begin this first of this double header.
We've only had 1 over, but it does look a really good wicket. I would expect it to be a really good wicket. It's a wicket that's been prepared for 2 games today. It looks a fresh wicket. When the wickets are fresh here and new, they seem to be rock hard and come on nicely in T20 cricket. It's when they're obviously used and been used a couple of times, and the scores can vary a little bit because spin and the ball can sit in the wicket a little bit. But obviously this ball sliding on nicely, so it should be a high-scoring affair.
Saqib Mahmood to open up the bowling from the Brian Statham end. Budinger on strike. It's angled into him and nicely played. Beautiful shot off the pads to the left of Livingstone at mid-on. He'll catch up with the ball, will Liam Livingstone, down towards the boundary. They'll come back for a couple. Budinger moves on to 3. Squad moves on to 9 without loss. Yeah, Lancashire do have an excellent record of winning T20 matches. Here in particular, they seem to kind of know the dimensions of the ground well, don't they? They know when there's 2s and when there's 3s, and they know the angles pretty well, as you'd expect from the home team. But got a pretty formidable record on their home ground. Mahmood bowls again. That's pushed away into the offside. Budinger gets more runs here. Just finds the gap between mid-off and cover. It's a big boundary. And de Grandon does catch up with it, flicks the ball back, and then Bell with a return throw. And again, they've run 3 this time, actually. 12 without loss. Budinger moves on to 6.
Yeah, they do, and I think that's a whole part of knowing your own field and your own surface and how to play on your own field. So it's a big ground. You can come as an opposing side and struggle with the size of the dimensions and some of the size of the boundaries. Also, it's a wicket that you've got to understand. You've got to be able to run 2s and hit pockets as well sometimes. They've already had a 2 and a 3 in this over, so and you need to be able to be good players of spin. And Lancashire traditionally had really good spinners as well, so they squeeze in the middle period. They know when to push and pull, really.
Mahmood bowls to Welsh, who's just pushed into the offside. Up comes Luke Wood to field, and there's no run. It's a formula that tends to involve using the spinners in the middle overs. That's been a kind of a feature, hasn't it, of what Lancashire have done pretty well in recent years. Yeah, they will look to take wickets up front with the new ball, then they'll squeeze hard in the middle period. As soon as the 7th over's bowled, they'll be spinners. They'll be trying to hustle round, get through, run people round in. And when they bat, they'll try to run people ragged in that middle period. Mahmood comes bouncing his way in, bowls again, just dabbed away into the offside by Welsh. Half a little step forward, just drops it into the cover region where Luke Wood sprints up to complete the fielding, and there is no run, 12 without loss. So with 4 balls into the second over, Welsh on 5 and Budinger unbeaten on 6. Mahmood having played a handful of games at the start of this season. In fact, I think in the end, prior to the T20 blast starting, he featured in just 2 championship matches. On his return to full fitness, having missed the majority of last season. So he's on his way back to full fitness. Bowls a full-length ball, which is hammered high out towards the leg side by Welsh. 1 bounce out towards the rope. And 4 runs for Leicestershire Foxes, who move on to 16 without loss.
Yeah, it's a really good shot for Welsh. He used his feet slightly and then looked to, to pick up over the leg side over wide and wicket. The field had just changed slightly. Matt Parkinson had come from 45, had gone into front of square, and Hartley is a deep backward square leg, so it's more of a traditional leg side field, but it was the length that really made it, and the ability for Welsh to clear his hands through the ball and pick it up over wide mid-wicket.
Final ball of the second over coming up. Mahmood back into Welsh. It's a fuller ball wide of off stump. He swings and misses. He's down on 1 knee, the batter, trying to hammer the ball away. It's with the covers, but a big waft of the bat and into the gloves of Phil Salt, the keeper. And that completes the second over. 16 without loss. Welsh on 9 and Budinger unbeaten on 6. So the relatively solid start with the bat for the Foxes here from these first 2 overs.
Yeah, it is a solid start, but the early signs on the wicket are that it's a really, really nice wicket here. I think it's coming on nicely. Look, there's good pace and bounce. Phil Salt's a long way back for these opening bowlers. Yeah, there's bounce and pace, and the ball sliding on. Yeah, it should be a high-scoring affair. Leicester are going to have to get a good total up here because Lancs will come really hard second innings with the bat, and they're going to need it. Yeah, they're going to need 180. I think it's early signs. They're going to need a big score.
Phil Salt's nearer to us than he is to.
Yeah, he is. It was interesting. Wells was asking. He's on the 30-yard circle. He's asking whether he may as well just come in a few steps and become gully, sort of thing. So.
Here's Luke Wood, bowls. Oh, that's a pull. It's a top edge pull out towards the leg side. It'll land safe, I think. No, Hartley comes up, takes a terrific catch. Got there in the nick of time, Tom Hartley. Looked for all the money that it might just land safe. But that top edge off the pull from Budinger. And Hartley comes in and takes an excellent catch. And it's 16 for 1.
Yeah, it's a brilliant catch. I actually thought Hartley was never going to get there. Actually, looked, he needed a lot of ground. The ball hung up, though. I think it sort of might have tailed back a little bit in the breeze towards him. But he did really well in the end. It was a great catch, and it's a good early wicket for Lancashire.
A lot of ground to make up, didn't he, coming up from the boundary?
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't think he was moving. I was sort of wishing on saying that you're gonna have to move at some stage if you're going to get close to this, and he did ease in the end. Obviously, long strides, and he's comfortable catch in the end. But it was a really good effort to get that catch and a good wicket. As Budinger had played some nice shots aggressively to start, and obviously the left-hand right-hand is a good opening partnership for Leicester, which brings former Lancashire man Aaron Lilly to the crease.
Indeed, it does. There's quite a lot of familiar faces between these two teams, and Aaron Lilly, who's been with the Foxes for quite a while now, for a number of seasons, but he's always a popular face at Emirates Old Trafford. And he's the new batter to join Welsh. So 16 for 1, the first wicket to fall in the 3rd over of the match. And Lilly on strike. Here comes Luke Wood from the Jimmy Anderson end. Left arm over, bowls left alone by Lilly, and taken by Salt with a little fancy twirl of the bat too from the Foxes batter as he left it. I think Phil Salt was mimicking that little leave from Aaron Lilly there. 16 for 1. Just the top edge for the wicket, the way he went to pull it and top edged it. And we're talking about the pace of the pitch. Is there anything to read into that or not?
I wouldn't read too much into it. He just top edged a pull shot, really. It wasn't a bounce, it was just back of a length. He just top edged a pull shot. It's hard to tell. You have to see a bit more as the surface goes on, but early signs are, I think it's a really good track.
Wood to Lilly. Onto his toes and just works the ball away towards deep backward point for his first run. He moves on to 1. As Tom Hartley, who took the catch, comes up from the rope to field. The score moves on to 17 for 1, halfway through the 3rd over. And Luke Wood, who's had a busy winter as well, playing franchise cricket in all different parts of the world. Featured in 1 championship match at the start of the season, but he's been saved for the blast. And he's about to come tearing back in again for his 4th ball of his 2nd over. Into Welsh, and he squirts that one out towards Bell, who takes the catch at backward point. 2 wickets in the over. Another leading edge, this time by Welsh. And Bell at point just runs a pace of 2 backwards, takes a relatively routine catch, and the Foxes are 2 down, 17 for 2.
Yeah, it looks like he favours the leg side Welsh, and obviously the field had changed. Lancashire had brought up a deep backward point, and they'd pushed deep backward square was already out, and they pushed a deep mid wicket. Obviously, like the previous day, they'd had wide long on out. So Welsh tried to heave that into the leg side, got a leading edge, and I think he got a leading edge into his helmet, if I'm honest with you, and I think it ballooned off his helmet across over to. Maybe I'm wrong,
well, but be a very good spot from you.
He did shake his head a little bit, but maybe just because he got out. But a leading edge at that pace would sort of balloon somewhere else, but it seemed to sort of leading edge up into his helmet, ballooned it slowly to backward point. A leading edge without hitting anything else would fly over Wells at short third man and go for 4 or 6 at 88 mile an hour. So it's sort of he looks like he's got a leading edge and hit him in the helmet, unfortunately. But it's another wicket, and it's brilliant. It's a brilliant over. It brings Leicester's captain to the crease, and a crucial player for Leicester, Colin Ackerman.
Yeah, vastly experienced player with and will play a big role only with bat and with ball for the Foxes today. But out there early on, 4 balls into the 3rd over, 17 for 2. The Leicestershire Foxes here at Emirates Old Trafford. You're with 5 Sports Extra at the BBC Sport website and app, and on Lancs TV watching this T20 Blast fixture. And Luke Wood is on the charge into to Ackerman. Well, that's deflected out towards backward square leg, but deflected not via the bat. Been signalled as a leg by the umpire as Stephen Croft comes up from the boundary to field. The score moves on to 18 for 2 with 1 ball left of the 3rd over. A lot mentioned about the pitch. We can see a nice little close up there on our screen. It should be a belter, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it looks. Look, we're a long way away. Yeah, the weather's been good. I can't see there being any moisture. There's not any moisture in the square. It's white. It should be a really good wicket. It looks like it's coming on nicely.
There's Wood to Lilly. It's just dabbed out towards the leg side, and there is no run. That's the end of the over. It's a successful one for Lancashire, because they picked up 2 Leicestershire wickets. And the Foxes are 18 for 2 after 3 overs, with Aaron Lilly on 1 and Colin Ackerman on naught. It's perfect for an opening batter, Paul, isn't it, really? Yes.
Yeah, it is. Look at the wicket. It's got a good covering of grass. It's not green in any way, shape or form. It may be a bit slower than it would normal, but it is still only May, so it might be slightly slower. But yeah, it's very hard to tell at the moment. Yeah, they look like they're moving forward nicely. The ball's coming on. They had a couple of drives through the line. Gives you good indications of it's a pretty steady wicket, and so it should be.
Well, I think that's been something that most supporters who have been engaged in today's game so far have taken note of as well. Here's de Grandon, first bowling change. There's Ackerman off the back foot, just tries to roll it down towards backward point, picks out George Bell, and there is no run. 18 for 2.
An interesting field. They obviously got a short third man, a backward point, and then a sweeper on the offside, which is basically a square cover point, you would call him. So slightly in front of square for the Grandam's different pace.
Right
on the mood.
On with the wicket, bowls to Ackerman, shuffles down the pitch, tries to work it to the leg side, and de Grandon side foots the ball towards the stumps, trying to run Aaron Lilly out. And I've no idea whether Lilly would have been home or not. But it was a battle of the 2 big blokes there, wasn't it, to see who could get to it first, de Grandon or to Lilly.
Yeah, there was some shoulders rubbed as he went down the wicket. Who can get in front? Who can get the lead shoulder in? I guess, but it would have been close. But yeah, de Grandam's got a. I'm not sure how good his football skills are, but he's got a side footed onto the stumps, and he missed.
He missed. Yeah, he did. Only 2 or 3 yards out, wasn't he? Open goal.
Yeah, maybe he plays at the back in football warm-up.
Yeah, left back.
Or is that no longer a thing, football warm-up?
I think some do it.
Is it back, is it?
Yeah, I think some do it.
Depends on flavour and
it does.
Coaches, and if there's a slight nickel once, it bans for a few months.
Someone rolls an ankle. Yeah. Gets banned for a bit. De Grandon balls back of a length. Banging the short ball, in fact, to Lilly. Through to Salt. He may have been surprised.
Really good surprise ball from de Grandon, but his pace, it's a good straight bouncer. They will look to use the bouncer against Lilly. Yeah, he's not a strong hooker and puller of the ball, but he does uppercut. He does give himself room, but they'll want to at least push him back a little bit at times and use it.
De Grandon to Lilly. That's clobbered back over the bowler's head, down towards the boundary at long on. 1 bounce, and it skips over the rope, and 4 runs. There's a shot bludgeoned back over the bowler's head for 4.
And that's why he's such a dangerous player. A couple of steps and then whack down the ground. He's a really clean striker of the cricket ball, Aaron Lilly, and a real dangerous player in his format. If he gets going, he hits the balls in strange places. He can be hard to shut down because he's unique. So if he gets going, it'll be exciting. And Leicester need him to get going. Obviously, field change now. Long on goes back. Deep point comes in.
De Grandon to Lilly. Well, that squirts away into the onside. It's such a simple catch for Daryl Mitchell. And Lilly departs for 5. And another dismissal, which has come off kind of a leading edge. Lilly, the man out, he's 23 for 3.
Yeah, it's a poor shot. He just tried to lean the ball into the leg side and got a leading edge in his court. Wide middle wicket. It's quite a soft dismissal in the end. You've got to play hard up top, and you've got to be positive. He'll be disappointed he's got out in that fashion I would say, and it leaves Leicester in a bit of a hole here at 23 for 3. Last thing you want to do is lose 3 wickets in the power play in your first game. But credit to, there's been some weird dismissals, I must admit. Now they've got a decision to make. Are they going to keep going, being positive and keep going? Or there's one train of thought, well, you've got to give yourself a bit of time to rebuild a little bit and build a partnership. So there's two trains of thoughts there, isn't there? So are we going to, I heard Alex Davis speak about Warwickshire the other day. Are we going to, just keep being positive and play and go down almost the, I want of a better phrase, the Bazball T20 route, and sometimes we'll be 80 all out, but we'll get 200 a lot? Or do you assess conditions a bit and try and build a partnership here?
It's de Grandon to Mulder. It's chopped away into the offside on the bounce towards Bell at cover, and there is no run. That's good. You've got 20 minutes in, and you've only just mentioned Bazball once. Yeah,
I won't mention it a great deal, but I have mentioned it there. It was interesting, to watch the game last week on TV with Yorkshire, and it might have been Yorkshire and Warwickshire. It was on TV. I think it was it last weekend? Was it the last? And
it could have been Paul.
Blost opening, both top orders got blown away, and then there was a huge partnership, and they both nearly got close to each other. It made you think if they'd have just, the new ball obviously was a bit harder to hit and tee up, but just really interesting. It looked how the game flowed like that. Because obviously the idea is to go hard and keep going hard.
Keep going. Well, which is what Hampshire tried to do last night. This is defended by Ackerman into the offside for no run, and they got themselves into a right old mess. So yeah, it's an interesting. It is an interesting position when you're 3 down inside the power play. So do you go a bit more old school, try and get to 120?
Yeah, I don't think it's old school. I don't think you've got to try and get to 120. I just think there is sometimes more time in the game than you think, and you can absorb a little bit of pressure. Keep being positive. By all means, look to hit 4s and 6s, and that's the only way you'll hit 1s as well. But also, you need some sort of momentum, don't you, as a batting unit?
Wood bowls, swings in towards Ackerman, who drives up to mid-on, de Grandon fields, and there's no run. 3rd over on the spin this for Luke Wood.
But Mulder and Ackerman are more traditional players. They'll play more traditional cricket shots. They'll play more, I'm not saying the other guys aren't, but, Aaron Lilly bats 3 in T20 cricket. He doesn't bat that high in first-class cricket, if you know what I mean. These guys are top-order players in first-class cricket, and they'll have stronger shots, and they'll use different areas to hit. So it's interesting to see how they rebuild this Leicestershire innings.
Wood to Ackerman, steps to the leg side and tries to carve the ball away, but a play and a miss, and through to Salt. And there is no run. 23 for 3. We're halfway through the 5th over. Leicestershire Foxes have lost 3 batters inside the power play. Nick Welsh for 9, Saul Budinger for 6, and Aaron Lilly for 5. Luke Wood bowling his 3rd over on the spin. He's picked up 2 of the 3 wickets to go. The other one falling to Colin de Grandon. Wood bowls, and Ackerman off the back foot trying to force the ball away, but again a play and a miss. But again that shape back in towards Phil Salt, the keeper. It's a really good opening spell this by Wood from the Anderson end.
There is, and there's pace and bounce, and this is why Luke Wood is highly regarded in white ball cricketer. And he swings the ball back at pace, left arm. He can hold his line into stumps and booker. You don't get width as a right-handed batter. So that's really high-skilled bowling that's coming down at the moment.
Wood to Ackerman. It's a short ball that follows him. It's a really good short ball. Ackerman having to bend his knees and lean back, but the more he leant back, the more the ball seemed to come towards him. It was a really sharp delivery that followed the batter. He did well to get out the way of that.
It's a really good bouncer. It followed him. It's straight. If you're going to do a bowler bouncer, you don't have to be express pace, but if they're straight, you've got to be well directed as well. So, Luke Wood is express pace, but that was well directed at Colin Ackerman.
He's a delivery here away from a maiden. In and balls to Ackerman, and he gets his maiden too. It's play and miss from Ackerman, who shuffles right across the stumps, tries to scoop it over the keeper's head, makes no contact with the ball, through to Salt. It is a T20 maiden over for Luke Wood. I think he deserves a round of applause and a high five for it. They're such a rarity, aren't they, in the blast? But 23 for 3, he's bowling beautifully. Ackerman on 1, Mulder on 0, 5 overs gone.
Yeah, a wonderful over. It's unfortunate Ackerman didn't get him away for Leicester's sake. But Luke Wood's what 3 overs, 3 for 8. It's a wonderful opening, or 2 for 8. It's a wonderful opening spell of left-arm pace bowling. But what Lancashire have come to expect, and why Lancashire are so successful in T20 cricket. They do have very, very good, talented lineup.
1 over from de Grandhomme. He's replaced again because Mahmood returns, and Mulder off the front foot will push it up towards mid-on, and will shuffle through for a single. Gets his first run, the 24 for 3. As we start the final over of this opening block of power play overs, with fielding restrictions are in place. There's 2 fielders allowed outside the 30-metre circle. They're at deep square leg and at deep backward point. There's gully, short fine, cover, extra cover, mid-off, mid-on and mid-wicket. We've got Saqib Mahmood for Lancashire. Bowls to Ackerman, and that's hit back onto his pad off the bottom edge, and it deflects away into the offside. He was aiming out somewhere out towards mid-wicket, but he gets a run nonetheless. He moves on to 2. The score moves on to 25 for 3. And brings Mulder back on strike. Ground filling up nicely. People buzzing around out towards our left-hand side, where the temporary stand will be constructed in the next month or so.
I must admit, I'm surprised at how many people, credit to the people who come in. There's quite a lot of people here for a 12:30 start on a Thursday.
There's Mahmood again, balls. That's worked away to mid-wicket by Mulder. Bell will pick up and throw towards the stumps at the bowler's end. He missed, and Mulder gets through for a single.
And do you know why the start times are what they are?
Well, I don't. But the idea is to play the women's game the second, to make that kind of the evening headline fixture. The 4:30 start time for that fixture is because the Blaze play tomorrow at 1 p.m. So I think the initial plan was to start the second game later in the evening, maybe 6:30. There's Mahmood balls to Ackerman. It's carved away through the offside, but will be picked up by Stephen Croft. So just a 1 to Ackerman. He moves on to 3, 27 for 3. So they've had to move that back to 4:30 because the Blaze are playing tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So it just gives them a bit of extra time to prepare for their game tomorrow. That's the reason for the 4:30 start. I think this game was always probably going to start about now-ish. Kind of after lunchtime, early afternoon.
Yep.
Man United are playing at home as well tonight, so it could get a bit busy later on. Mahmood into Mulder. Oh, that beats him. It beats him, I think, past the inside edge, just stepping back to the legs side, and ball nips past the bat and through to the keeper, no run.
Yeah, look, they're opening ball. They're going to try and hold their line into the stumps. It was back of a length over, sort of off stump. Mulder's giving himself room. He's trying to give himself room, free up the offside and slap it out through the offside. There's a short third man and a deep, wide third man, backward point, you'd probably call it. It's a really good position in T20 cricket. More of a modern T20 cricket position there. It traditionally used to be backward point, third man, but that's become the real go-to in recent times, isn't it, for that slap through backward point.
Mulder waits and tries to pull the ball through mid-wicket, but it's taken by Salt. There's half an appeal by the bowler, and there is no run. It's the end of the over. 27 for 3. That's the power play done.
Yeah, I think that the appeal from the bowler is when you bowl a short ball down the leg side, you appeal because you don't want to be caught wide. For some reason, it wasn't called wide. I don't really know why.
Did he shuffle across a bit, maybe?
Yeah, I think when in one day cricket, if it goes down the leg side, it goes down the leg side. That was down the leg side and head high. Yeah, it's a wide.
You can tell I'm sat next to a batter.
What's a wide? I don't understand why it's not
give
wide.
The bowler some.
Well, yeah, you do, but it's a wide. It's a wide. It's
Not according to umpire Graham Lloyd. It's not.
Well, no. Well, there you go. There you go. Former Lancashire player Graham Lloyd.
27 for 3. We've had 6 overs of the power play.
I do like this new feature. What is this? Oblivious cam.
Oblivious cam. Yeah.
People who are not watching the game get there on TV.
He's looking at his phone and having a butty, isn't he? In comes de Grandhomme, who replaces Wood from the Anderson end. That's muscled away through the onside for 1 run.
It's really good fielding by Luke Wood. The field is a deep backward square leg, a deep mid-wicket and a long on. There's a bit of space out to the leg side, and that sort of swept into wide mid-wicket, wide long on sort of thing, and they didn't get back for 2 basically because of Luke's Wood pace across the ground.
De Grandhomme to Mulder. It's off the front foot and he finds the gap through the offside. He beats Luke Wells out towards the cover boundary. Hartley gets across and flicks the ball back. And they're going to run 3 again. Might see a bit of that today.
Yeah, with such a big area, big grass covering on the right-hand side of the field as we look out to here from the stand. Yeah, it's a big playing area. It's a big playing arena. There might be some threes run. When threes are run in T20 cricket, it gives the impression it is a big field. You don't really see that. How many threes run in the IPL, Scott? They don't have a 3 counter, do they? In the IPL, do they?
I mean, it's possible to get one sponsored soon.
Possibly.
Yeah, 31 for 3. I've not seen too many run 3s in the IPL. Nope. Ackerman's on 4, so there's 3 on the leg side boundary, long on, deep mid wicket and deep backward square leg. De Grandhomme ball, swing and a miss from Ackerman, and taken by Salt, and there is no run. 31 for 3, the Leicestershire Foxes. We are playing in, we're on the strips, which is not absolute bang centre, but it's not far off, which means that you've got big boundaries both sides here. Short ball and a slow ball, and it's a no ball signalled by the umpire. Neil Mallender at the Jimmy Anderson end, so 33 for 3. As a batter, Ackerman just kind of dropped his hands and watched it balloon with so little pace and just about get into the gloves of the keeper, Phil Salt. De Grandhomme back in to Ackerman. That's pulled out towards deep mid wicket, where Daryl Mitchell fields. Ackerman moves on to 5. It's 34 for 3 with 2 balls left of the 7th over, which he'd been bowled by Colin de Grandhomme. Long on, deep mid wicket, deep backward square leg, and then deep extra cover. As de Grandhomme balls again, it's off the toes by Mulder. Gets run up onto his tiptoes and hammers it away through the covers for a single. Moves on to 6, 35 for 3. With 1 ball left of the 7th over, we'll have a little change in the commentary box as well at the end of this over. Alex Hartley will return, and Kevin Howells will come and replace me. We'll hear a little bit from Keaton Jennings and from Mel Farrell as well through the course of the day. Here's de Grandhomme in. Oh, and he's bowled Ackerman down on 1 knee, trying to slog sweep it away through mid wicket, and the ball clatters into his off stump, and that is the end of the 7th over, and the Leicestershire Foxes have lost their 4th wicket, and it's their skipper, the man that's out, bowled by de Grandhomme. It's 35 for 4, Alex. Your thoughts on that, and where we're at to in this game after 7 overs, and then Kevin's going to come and replace me.
Yeah, not an ideal start for Leicester at all, but you can sort of understand Ackerman there just trying to get on with things. De Grandhomme just bowling full and straight, looking to hit the stumps. He goes for the big old heave into the leg side, completely misses it, and it skittles his off stump. But he's 5 off 15 balls, so you can sort of understand why he's gone deep in his crease and looking to play across the line. He doesn't miss at all. So for Leicester, they're 4 down after 7, 35 for 4. Ackerman goes for 5 off 16. And not ideal at all, but Lancs on top here, and you look at this Lancs squad and you think, gosh, they're a strong side. And they're proving that today, aren't they, Kevin?
Unbelievably strong. And when I say unbelievably, I mean, I'm thinking of the opposition. To match on paper this squad, although last night I was watching Matt Henry, Craig Overton as a bowling player there for Somerset, and it's just everywhere on the card. It looks so strong.
Yeah.
But they've got to go on and win. Well, they've got to win this first today, and then win a few other matches. We're not saying they're done and dusted, but gosh, if you're opposition, you're coming here, I think as they say, you've got to concentrate on what you do and not what they do. Anyway, the start of the next over is worked away behind square on the leg side. Good afternoon, everybody, by the way. Nice to be with you. Foxes move their score up here now to 36 for 4. We're in the 8th over. Funny all day weather-wise.
Yeah, it's been beautiful the last few days.
Well, I thought it was okay this morning, and then all of a sudden I think, gosh, it's getting a bit darker. Now, there's no talk, as far as I'm aware, of any rain.
Oh.
So we're not talking about rain, but we're talking about a bit of cloud around.
Yeah, I sat out on the balcony having a coffee this morning in the sun. It was warm, beautiful.
So if you have a look at the old radar, it's a slither of cloud which is just over us at the moment. Next ball, again worked away leg side by Patel, and he moves on to 1. So 37 for 4 now in this 8th over. But it's nice to get into a bit of T20, and yesterday it was beautiful weather yesterday for the 3 games. Sadly, the matches themselves didn't live up to the weather. A bit of a disaster in the nail-biting front, but still.
Stinker at Taunton, wasn't there?
Well, it was. And Northants looked as if they were going quite well in the chase. Big runs there to get 197 against Worcestershire, but they fell away quite quickly in the end. This is in the air leg side. Is a catching opportunity? No, just falls short of the fielder, just running round to his left-hand side. He does well in the end as Bell to just gather and sort of parry it away to start off with. Little old George Bell out there getting more and more annoyed as every week goes by, and more people say, is he due back at school at the end of the game? That must be annoying.
Well, he does look fresh out the womb.
He does. Well, I might not go as fresh as that, but he does. But gosh, I bet he gets annoyed.
He would. How old is he? 20?
Something like that. 38 for 4 the score here in the 8th over, and again it's Mitchell in and worked up on the leg side again, but this time to mid-on. And they will go through for 1 run with Conor de Grandhomme doing the fielding. Are we allowed to talk about this kit yet or not?
I reckon we can, because the Thunder kit is so much better than the Lancs men's kit. They've gone for a dark maroon with a bright red hat, and it doesn't quite match.
No.
But the women's kit, brilliant, so nice.
Do you have any say?
No.
Oh, Mitchell. 5th ball of this over. Short ball, which he goes to hook, and Mulder just about keeps his bat out of the way of that one. It signals a no ball by umpire Lloyd as well. Mitchell's not particularly impressed with that. Your thoughts, Alex?
Yeah, I'd like to see it on the replay. I think at first look, I think it probably was a no ball. Anything above shoulder height is a no ball. He looked to get out of the way of it. He left it quite well in the end.
He did. But of course the bowler has to look round a bit grumpy, just to make the umpire think, well, maybe I got it wrong, who knows, for next time. 41 for 4 is the score. That one's just a little bit fuller, but again, short-ish, and it's pushed and pumped away on the offside for a single. All running around, and I have to say, well done to everybody here at Lancashire. This is not the school holiday, and this is what are we now even? Just gone 1 o'clock, 1. I did not expect to see so many people in the ground at this time on a day like Thursday without it being the school holidays yet.
Oh, nothing like taking a day off work to watch a bit of cricket.
There's nothing like it, but you do lose money, so that's a big call still. And that's again a shorter ball, which, well, that took an age still. Shorter ball took an age to get to the batter, to pull it away on the onside again. So a few singles being picked up here. 43 for 4 after 8 overs. Patel on 3 and Mulder on 9. It's been a tough start here for the Foxes, Leicestershire Foxes. However, if you look back at previous seasons, last year, of course, was the year where they felt going into that last round of matches to qualify for the quarter-finals, they had a very good chance. And then a matter of, was it an hour, 2 hours before the final, they got deducted points. And therefore it became impossible for them to go through. I remember just a couple of years before that being at Trent Bridge for a game that they looked as if they had, home and hosed, and they were on their way to the quarterfinals, and they lost there in very close circumstances. This one is worked by Patel up towards, this is Wells, Wells says me, Wood coming with the left arm underarm throw from the long on position. But yeah, it was that time when they tied the game with Nottinghamshire, with the Outlaws there, and due to the fact that they had lost fewer wickets, Notts went through. And that was real agony and pain for Leicestershire that night. Once again, de Grandhomme bowls, and that's carved straight to the fielder. Pouncing upon the ball there again is George Bell. Aims as if to throw the ball in, but just his jumping, his activity.
He's got a good arm for a 6-year-old, hasn't he, Bell?
Don't you start. Don't you start. That's Alex Hartley, for any of the Bell family listening, not me. Grandhomme bowls again down the leg side, just clipped away, very fine. It's going to run to the boundary. It's going to be 4 runs here, and signalled by umpire Mallender as well. Just didn't quite get the line right there at de Grandhomme, and it's helped on its way to the boundary, and all gratefully accepted here by Leicestershire.
Yeah, anything helps here for Leicester. Not going along too quickly whatsoever, but now they've got to try and build a partnership and get some sort of total on the board. think what Lancs have shown here on this wicket in particular is if you just bowl straight, it's incredibly tough to get away.
De Grandhome's in his 3rd over. He's midway through, and then maybe a little bit slow with that ball. Does his own fielding. Oh, that's neat work. I like that. He sort of slides and then throws behind his back the ball, and actually with good direction. Good accuracy, although the batter was well inside his ground. Just take a look at this again, Alex. This is lovely work. He doesn't even look, and that's not too far away, is it?
It's a clever bit of fielding there from De Grandhomme.
No run, 48 for 4 it remains. 2 balls left of the 9th over. This is in the air over the top of extra cover. It's going to be a big chase out there on the boundary. Will he get there? No, he won't. It's going to be 4 more runs. So some boundaries at last being found here by Leicestershire Foxes. It's a long, hard chase for Tom Hartley, but he couldn't get to it. 4 runs.
Yeah, a bit of width there as well. Full outside, off stump. The batter able to just shimmy down the pitch and pump the ball through extra cover for 4 for another well-needed boundary.
They passed the 50 mark to 52 for 4. 1 ball left of the 9th over. De Grandhomme again into Mulder, who on 17 won't get himself a boundary this time. He just works it away to mid-wicket. Use the wrist to pick up a single. He'll keep the strike, which is no bad thing because he's striking the ball well for his 18 off 16 balls with a couple of 4s. And the Leicestershire Foxes are 53 for 4 after 9 overs. The music comes on. This is not a strategic timeout. Please tell me this is not a strategic timeout.
Last time I saw you would have been in the middle of some sort of strategic timeout.
Would it?
And it was the strategic timeout seems that long. You've grown a beard. Your appearance has changed.
Do you know, I'd love to blame strategic timeouts for growing a beard. Yeah, do you know, during that strategic, I grew a beard.
It was that long. They do feel that long though, don't they?
Oh, you tell me about it. You tell me about it. Anyway, change here. We've got Luke Wells about to bowl. De Grandhomme's bowled 3 overs, 2 for 23. 53 for 4 after 9 overs. Patel on 4, Mulder 18. And the tall figure of Wells here, he just wants just a slight change. He wants Bell to move just a little bit to his right-hand side. He was very square there.
Interesting that they've gone to Luke Wells rather than Matt Parkinson here as well.
And Wells in, bowls full, and that's played by Mulder up towards Mitchell. Comes in off the boundary just down below us at long on. And your thoughts are, what are they doing?
Well, I think Matt Parkinson's a wicket taker, but he's also can be quite expensive, can't he? And I think while Lancs have got the momentum, maybe just backing Wellesley to be a little bit more economical.
Patel is facing, he's on a run of ball 4 at the moment. And he can't get that one away, so it gets up on him a little bit, even from the spinner. I mean, he's a tall lad, isn't he? Wells is a bowler, and
yeah, he's tall and he bowls a lot quicker than Matt Parkinson.
Yeah.
So hard to get underneath the ball.
So again, he's coming away from us. Ball here from the Statham end, and that's played square. A little bit of hesitation, could be costly. In the end, they go through for a single. They're safe. They're okay. Weren't too sure. I think actually Mulder probably was making the positive call there to go through. So Patel in the end wasn't running to the danger end. 55 for 4 in the 10th over. That one is in the air for a little while, but it's played out through mid-wicket. Should be fielded okay. They'll come back for 2. Have to work hard coming back for the 2. Good running, and they need that to get themselves out of trouble here, the Foxes. 57 for 4 now in the 10th over. 2 more to Mulder. He moves to 21 off 18. But still, that boundary count, just 2 boundaries for him in this inning so far. But, that one's down the leg side, helped on its way. Tumbling stop just on the edge of the circle. They go through for 1, and did get bat on it.
Gets away with that one there, Luke Wells. Gets away with it. Short, down the leg side. It just shows when a team's not on top. Quite often when they are, that'll have been pumped into the leg side for 4.
Got to be very apprehensive here at the moment, the Foxes. Start of the campaign as well. Patel is on 5 and leaning back, and that one's played nicely, but again it won't get to the boundary because there's a man out there square on the offside. It's just 1 run. And the end of that over from Wells, which he's gone for 6 runs. The score is 59 for 4. Midway through, with 10 overs in now. Patel's on 6 and Mulder on 22. This, of course, is the start of the campaign for Leicestershire. Not so for Lancashire, who are up and running in Blastoff, which took place at the weekend. I'm not sure if it was a success or not a success.
The double header.
Yeah, and getting it underway.
Well, it seems strange for me because you can't have any of the home fans there for the first game. So Lancs, Derby, you've got to be a travelling fan to go and watch. As a Warwickshire fan, are you going to get in 4 hours early? Maybe. There was a few in.
Yeah, oh yeah, well definitely, yeah, it wasn't at all empty. Parkinson it is now brought in to bowl from the far end, the Jimmy Anderson end, and there is a run to be found. First ball of his spell here, square on the leg side.
I think we'll see these two trying to attack Matt Parkinson here, which could bring some chances for Lancs.
So Parkinson again, a bowl. Does so now. Again, use to the wrist from Mulder onto the onside. He'll get himself a single. And again, I'm in no position to talk about colour clashing here, really. I mean, me and fashion and colours just wouldn't really have an idea. But for me, again, I'm just worried about those sort of bright orange boots with the red again.
Showing his personality, you know.
Oh, I'm all for that. I'm all for that. Patel's on 7. And he's gone high here. Has he got enough on it, though? That's the question. I don't think so. I think it's going to be caught, and he is. The catch has been taken out there. It was up there for a long time. Had to come in. Did Luke Wood to take the catch. And just as they feel they need to get a bit more expansive, maybe take it back to these spin bowlers, spin at both ends. Again, another wicket falls.
Yeah, and that's what we were just talking about. He's a bowler, that you want to look to attack Matt Parkinson. But on these big boundaries, especially here at Old Trafford, he picks up a lot of wickets. Patel not quite getting hold of that one. Luke Wood with the catch at mid-on. And that's the danger when you're looking to attack the leg spinner. There's no pace on Matt Parkinson's deliveries at all, so you've got to generate that pace yourself. You don't quite get hold of it. That's what happens.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. Still, this discussion goes on, and it happened a couple of times in commentary that I was listening to last night, of course. When you're in this T20 situation, limited overs cricket, but especially T20, you know, do you look at the number of overs and think, OK, well, we'll just get whatever we can get and play around, pick up the singles or whatever, or do you just think, well, we know that we are so far behind where we need to be, our best chance actually is to play the risky shot, to be a little bit more adventurous. Get your views on that in a moment, Alex, if we may, as Parkinson comes in to bowl to Ahmed. Ren Ahmed, who comes out there, he's made a bit of a name for himself over the last 12 months. What can he do here in Manchester today? Well, initially he'll get himself a single, 62 for 5 in the 11th.
I think they carry on the way they're going, they're going to get 125. You know, the run rate that they're at, which isn't enough, especially against this Lancs side, but you don't want to get bowled out either.
Mulder facing and defensively pushes that back to Parkinson.
So each batter will have a bowler that they'll look to target. And I guess it's weighing up the options now. Being 5 down after 10 overs is when do you look to accelerate? You've got to consolidate? Is that the right word?
Yeah. I love it. And not only is the right word, I love the word. And it's driven up there to the man comes up off the boundary at long off, and they'll get a single.
Doesn't sound right, but I'm going to roll with it. And look, knock the ball around and try and take each bowler here for 8 and over. And if you can get one boundary and over and then knock the ball around, you'll get 8, 9 and over without even trying. But you've got to try and get that boundary early on in the over. But equally, if you look to go too aggressive, you're in danger of being bowled out as well.
Indeed, indeed. Am I allowed to answer the questions on the TV? Can I say a look-alike? Oh, I see. Oh, is this a bit of a go at me? I don't know. No. That's fine. Well, so I love this competition, though. The idea that in the crowd they're looking for Phil Mitchell lookalikes. Well, surely I win that every week.
I reckon you're winning that.
Hey, what's the prize?
Just need to trim the beard now.
Oh, really? Well, I don't know, you see. Mrs. Howells is quite keen.
She likes it, does she?
Yeah. Mahmood bowling his 3rd over, 2 overs. He's bowled so far, 13 runs. Played away there through mid-wicket, and he will get a single. Yeah. Well, I love that competition. It's better than that kissing thing. I've never been keen on that one.
The kiss cam.
No, I'm very much up for the Phil Mitchell looky-likey, though. And I think you might find me from time to time, even if I'm not employed to be at a cricket ground, I'll be there.
You're just going to go sit in the crowd.
See how many prizes I could win in a season.
Now, in your luck, Kev, you'll be on the kiss cam.
Oh, yeah. Well, I ain't winning nothing on there, I'm telling you. Sakib Mahmood, bowling his 3rd over, as I say. He's in, and he bowls short. And he tries, does Ahmed there, to use his wrist to work it away just a little bit further than he did. But he still gets a single for it. And he moves up to 2, 65 for 5 in the 12th. Is that an innovation, the Phil Mitchell looky-likey? I've not seen that one before. Oh, different. Oh, I see.
So they'll find someone in the crowd and go, she looks like
Oh.
so and so.
Oh, that spoilt it. Although I feel a bit deflated.
It's
now.
not always just Phil Mitchell.
That's a shame. That is a shame. Oh, I'm not going to bother then. I was all up for that. Mahmood. Bowls to Mulder. He's on 25. This is in the air again. This could be caught. It should be caught, and it is. Mulder can't quite believe it. He's found the man out there at deep mid-wicket on the boundary, just coming in. He's gone for 25. It's all falling apart here for Leicestershire. Whenever they try, when they feel, I think they've been delivered a ball that deserves maybe to be given a bit of treatment, it's just not coming off. This can't get it away the way they would have wanted. And another wicket goes down, 65 for 6 in the 12th over.
Yeah, Tom Hartley out there with the catch at deep mid-wicket. Pretty much Mulder picked him out. Didn't have to move at all, went straight to him. A little bit top edgy. He's Leicester's top scorer with 25. But they're collapsing here, Leicester, and Lank's really well and truly on top.
Yeah, he makes a very sorry walk off, doesn't he? Feels very, very, very disappointed, but you know, upon him, I suppose, any hope already was quickly fading, fast fading for the Foxes here. So we've had Welsh out for 9, Buttigieg for 6, Lilly for 5, Ackerman for 5, Patel for 7, and Mulder's gone for 25. A couple of wickets for Luke Wood, a couple of wickets for de Grandhomme, and the first wicket of the day for Saqib Mahmood in his 3rd over, 1 for 15, his figures. Harry Swindle's his next man in, and he is facing now. Does he get a little nick on that terrific delivery from Mahmood just past the off stump? Can I just say, and I guess it has been said already this season, how nice it is to see Saqib Mahmood playing cricket again, because as much as we enjoyed his company in the commentary box, I don't think he quite enjoyed our company quite as much, because he wanted to be out there playing, and it's great to see that now.
Yeah, it's nice to see him back in his cricket kit. As a player, you know, when you're injured, you get an opportunity to still work on cricket. You can commentate, but there's nothing quite like being out there in the middle.
No. Keeps you going at the moment. You want to keep on turning out there doing your stuff?
Yeah.
As best you can?
Yeah.
Yeah. At least you've had that opportunity as Mahmood comes in, and won another beautiful delivery. This is terrific stuff from Mahmood, just past the off stump. For most of us, we just sit here just dreaming, well, for me, years ago, dreaming of the idea of being out there one day playing in front of, you know, and you now, thankfully, have been given those opportunities over the last few years in big crowds as well. And
yeah, luckily got the best of both worlds at the minute.
Yeah. Well, when you do come over entirely to the dark side, I tell you, it can be hard at times. It can be hard, believe me. But you know that you'll be more than welcome full-time on the dark side. Swindles faces the next ball, and that's pushed into the offside. There'll be no run. Does that complete the over? It does. 3 overs, 1 for 15, 65 for 6 after 12. Ahmed is on 2, Rubble 2. Oh yes, I see. So they come up with various characters on this competition, the looky-likeys, and I'm not too sure who that is. Somebody from a movie, but they've... Oh, I see. But they found somebody that looks just like it. I like the competition, but I think some people will get a little bit miffed that they've been compared to some well-known characters. Although that one for me is it's from a movie. I can't quite remember what the movie is, and I'm not too sure if Paul Horton's going to be able to remember or not. This ball is worked away on the onside. They'll get a single here. Swindles is off the mark, and he gets away. He's on 1.
I'm waiting to see what our looky-likes are.
The whaties?
When our camera pans to us, I want to see what character we come up with.
We've already had Phil Mitchell. I think I would have been done on that one. Yeah. Parkinson now comes into Swindles. Actually, Ahmed had picked up that single, so Swindles works it away mid-wicket and goes through for a single.
And the lights have come on here. A bit of cloud. Lights they've taken effect a little bit. You can see some players' shadows, which is strange for 20 past 1 in the afternoon.
It's become really weird, hasn't it, the weather, actually, because it was relatively bright a couple of hours ago. As Parkinson bowls, leaning into it. Ahmed, he'll get himself a single. He moves to 4 at 68 for 6.
Look, it was really bright when I put my shorts on. I didn't get dressed in the dark. I took, I took one look at the weather, thought it was glorious. Been outside, chest to temperature. Thought today's a day to gamble with shorts. I could be wrong.
I don't think there's ever a day to gamble with shorts myself. But Parkinson, again, bowls, and use of the feet there from Swindles, comes down to the ball to drive it along the ground. So what are you doing here? If you're Ahmed and Swindles, you're thinking to yourself, well, we're just going to push and run here a bit, or, I mean, the last couple of wickets, you know, they've been deliveries they felt have been there to be hit, and they haven't quite got hold of them. You know, the big boundaries either side here. Ahmed is on 4, he's facing, and he pushes that into the offside again. He'll scamper 1, try and push hard for 1 to come back for 2, but it's just the single. 70 for 6, 1 ball left of the 13th over.
Look, they're trying to get a bit of momentum into the innings and some sort of, you know, partnership going, which is what they've got to do. They both face 5 balls each. At least you've got to give yourself a chance. Yeah, don't know dots is key.
Swindles faces, and on the shorter ball leans back and carves it away offside for 1. Moves to 3, 71 for 6 after 13 overs here. Parkinson's bowled a couple of overs, or 1 for 10.
So let them, yeah, they've got to get in. They both play 5 or 6 over 6 balls each. Yeah, they've got to look to hit. They're looking to hit singles. They're looking to hit 2s. I'm sure if they get a ball in their arc, they'll look to, you know, to be positive and hit it for 4. I thought the fielding, but it is not an easy field to just come out and blast and smack, you know, 2 good leg spinners or high quality bowling. Luke Wood's coming back on, so you can't. I don't know who this looked like as he just popped up. Has come into the screen.
Oh, that's Harry, and that's one of the members of the crew. From an old back.
Well, he enjoys that.
Andy.
He's enjoying that, I think.
Well done, Andy. He likes it. He likes a bit of Harry. He's happy with that one. See, that's the thing. Are you always going to be happy with your looky-likey? But he's quite pleased with it. Yeah. And rightly so. He's a good-looking lad, is Harry. And so is Andy. Well done, everybody. So, Swindle is on 3. Wood's got to bowl his last over. Has driven to Mahmood for a single. It's a slight misfield, but it's not going to cost anything in the end, I don't think. 72 for 6 in the 14th. Anyway, your 2 teams out here. A bit of Lancashire, a bit of Leicestershire. How many years, though, now since? 2 or 3? 3
yeah,
years?
2 or 3. Yeah, 2020 was my last year at Leicester. 2020 wasn't really a year for anyone, was it? It was a COVID year. The cricket was strange.
Yeah, it was. But I was very grateful for having some, I have to say.
Yes, well, everyone was, wasn't they?
Yeah.
And to get back to normal. So.
Yeah. Wood again comes into ball to Ahmed. He's on 5, not out. To his toes, into the offside to Parkinson. He goes through for 1. Moves to 6. So it's a real struggle here. We were talking earlier about the strength of squad here for Lancashire. You were saying that perhaps we shouldn't be surprised by it, but I mean this really does go right through, and I imagine that the news as well that the Butler is going to be available for 10 of the matches as well. I'm starting for the Roses again. That's a huge fillip to the players, but the supporters of the club as well, to see a lot of Josh Butler in this campaign as Wood comes around the wicket, the left arm, and driven into the offside for 1, and he moves on to 5. The Swindle 74 for 6 midway through the 14th over, because Butler is most certainly a bums on seats man, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, and that's great for Lancashire, great for the competition, and great for the cricket in general. I was surprised at how surprised you were off commentary about the formidable squad that Lancashire put together. This is a very well run, very big county and player in county cricket. So there's for every reason to be a successful cricket team.
Ahmed, and that one's a short one. Does he get anything on it? I think he does. And he was looking there just, I think Ahmed it is who's gone, looking maybe to just lift that ball away. Again, just tempted by a different sort of delivery, and it's the undoing. And Ahmed has gone. He's been caught by the keeper. That might have just been a little bit of a feather. Top end of the bat, toe end of the bat. Take a look at it again. Paul.
Yeah, it's a bounce. There's a little top slight edge on the bat as he tried to guide it over the keeper. But it was a really interesting. Luke Wood's come around the wicket. He's attacking the batters. He's holding his width really well. It was a really interesting field because they had a third man, but almost a backstop set for that, for Ahmed to run the ball off his face over the top of over the slips or where the slips would be. So really interesting field set. It looks like they're well. Lancashire are always. They are well planned, they're well organised, and their fielding positions for individual batters have been, really well thought out today, I think.
Well, that's one of the things you are going to find, of course, with a team that is so rampacked of international talents and experience and franchise experience around the world, that they'll be used to where they're needed to go, I'm sure. A lot of these players will have been under all sorts of different captains and coaches, well drilled in the skills of this competition, T20 in this format. 74 for 7, and we've got another Parkinson on the field. This time it's Callum. He faces his first ball, and it's Wood who's bowling. Well, something flew off there. I'm not too sure what it was that flew off, but it's thankfully not a bail from the I think it's just a chunk of the bat of Parkinson's.
Yeah, he's broke a bat there. It's a really good Yorker, and he's hit it into his foot, and not a bail, but it's a piece of Callum Parkinson's bat.
I hope it's not his favourite. Well, it has come away there at the bottom, so we're having a little delay here. I imagine as a bowler, you're always going to be a little bit thrilled to have damaged the bat, even if you haven't got a wicket. The score is 74 for 7. 1 ball left of the 14th over. Liam Livingstone has a little cheeky word with Callum Parkinson. His brother offers him nothing. No sympathy for your broken bat. He's hoping, I'm sure, that he doesn't get out, actually, in a strange sort of way. That you have a little bit of brotherly competitiveness between the two. Callum, who's himself a wonderfully gifted, talented cricketer, we know that. But gosh, it's going to take a little bit of something here for Callum Parkinson to get his team out of trouble, whilst his brother Matt has bowled 2 overs, 1 for 10. But it's Wood bowling, should be the last ball. We've now got a new bat, or a fresh bat, and that one is used effectively to push the ball for nothing more than a dot ball behind square. So 74 for 7, 14 overs gone. Parkinson faced a couple of balls yet to get off the mark. Swindles on 5, and the applause, quite rightly, for a superb spell of bowling there from Luke Wood. 4 overs, 1 maiden. He's picked up 3 wickets. Terrific stuff from Wood, and it's just gone off the board there, but I think I might be able to find it somewhere here. Just 11 runs, 3 for 11. So I'll make my way. Just a word, if we may, about Luke Wood and his bowling. We've seen it before, but he keeps on doing it consistently, and then it'll be Scott coming in.
Yeah, wonderful spell of bowling as Matt Parkinson's comes in. Swindles tucks it into backward square leg for 1. Brings Callum Parkinson to the crease. We found a Santa Claus look-alike in the crowd.
I saw that, yeah.
Not sure whether he'll be happy about that or not. He may be the first disappointed Santa Claus look-alike.
Parkinson to Parkinson then. Matt to Callum. And Callum goes off the back foot and works the ball away through the offside for his first run. And the score moves on to 76.
Isn't it an intriguing battle? Your brother bowling to you. It's like the hallway from 20 years ago, isn't it? Backyard cricket.
Here's Matt to Swindles, who goes back and tries to wallop the ball away through the onside, Harry Swindles, but almost sees the ball clash onto his off stump. Taken by Salt. And there is no run. Swindles on 6. So we're halfway through the 15th over. Parkinson twirls in again, bowls. His runs here. Eased away through mid-wicket. Up comes Stephen Croft to complete the fielding. Swindles moves on to 7. The Foxes are 77 for 7, and we get the twins up against each other again. Matt to Callum. Forward goes Callum. Wants a run here, but it's picked up just backward of point, and there is no run. Liam Livingstone, the skipper, coming up there to complete the fielding. Parkinson with his final ball of his third over, 1 for 13. Balls to Callum, and that's pushed out through mid-on for a single, and that's the end of the over. 5 left, 78 for 7 at the end of the 15th over, with Harry Swindles on 7 and Callum Parkinson on 2. What if you're out there batting at the minute, Paul? What would be the conversation? What is a score which you could possibly think about trying to defend at this stage?
Well, to answer your question, there isn't. So they've just got to get as many as they can.
Okay.
You know, they're 78 for 7 at 58. Can they get 120, they'll be saying, I would have thought, as a bet. You know, can they get 120? Big asked. You know, they're going to need 42 or 5.
Yeah.
Can they get 120?
There's de Grand Homme to Parkinson. Loops away towards fine leg by Callum Parkinson. Just ease off the face of the bat. Luke Wells, who will, I suspect, open the batting for Lancashire, along with Phil Salt, the returning Phil Salt.
And it's not, it's not down to these guys why Leicester are in this position. You know, they're trying to resurrect some sort of total.
De Grand Homme bowls, and Swindell's got a helicopter-style shot. He's a step down the pitch, whips the ball high up towards deep backward point. Mahmood comes up to try and complete the fielding. Swindell's moves on to 8. Just a single, 80 for 7. Well, in a minute they'll do well to kind of stumble up towards 3 figures, but Parkinson looking to try and add to it here off the back foot, trying to flick it out towards mid wicket, but straight back to de Grand Homme, and there's no run.
Been really impressed with Lancashire's use of the middle surface. Some of this short pitch bowling has been really effective. It's a huge boundary, deep backward square. So if you're going to pull it, it's a long way.
De Grand Homme bowl that loops back over the bowler's head from Parkinson. Gets through for a single, moves on to 4, 81 for 7.
They've used the middle of the wicket. It's a bigger boundary square than it is straight, even though all boundaries are big. They've been clever with their bowling, with their changes. I think Wells bowled on over this end, potentially because of slightly. Mark Parkinson bowled a smaller boundary to the leg side from the other end, so I don't think it was too much into that.
De Grand Homme bowls again, just bangs it in short, and that's pulled this time, but Hartley on the deep mid wicket boundary fields. So just another single. There have been 4 singles in the over so far under dot ball, so just the 4 runs off it. 82 for 7. De Grand Homme. Well, this is his final ball of his 4th and final over. It's run down to 3rd man by Parkinson for another single. 83 for 7. Decent day with the ball for de Grand Homme as well. 4 overs, 2 for 28 from their overseas. Oh, the lucky likey on the TV's not a good one now, is it? Oh my word, whose idea is this? Dreadful, dreadful idea.
Well, I want to see the lookalike is. There we go. You've made it onto the TV.
Shocking idea, absolutely shocking idea.
It's a good looky-likey. It is you, or your twin.
I mean, to be fair, they were actually quite kind there, weren't they? They could have used any old image then, couldn't they? There's Parkinson to Callum Parkinson. And that's run up towards mid-on, where Luke Wood comes up to complete the fielding. 84 for 7. Brings Swindell's back on strike. Oh, there's a bit of power, isn't it, at the top of Lancashire's order if it's a relatively modest total that they're chasing. Phil Salt, we reckon, will open the batting with Luke Wells. But, I mean, Liam Livingstone could open the batting quite easily as well, but Wells did well at the weekend at Edgbaston in the blast-off at the top of the order. This is swept by Swindles towards de Grand Homme. Deep backward square leg. 85 for 7.
And hasn't Luke Wells been a really good signing for Lancashire? A really good first-class cricketer, but is now turned into a really useful addition in T20 cricket.
Down the pitch comes Callum Parkinson to his twin brother. It's hit along the ground through mid-on for a single.
Maybe sometimes you need a fresh start and stuff, but I do find it occasionally strange how some of these really good cricketers are not. How can Sussex release a cricketer of that ilk? I find it amazing.
Swindles comes down towards Matt Parkinson, hits it back over his head, and one bounce, it skids over the rope towards long on. Wood trying to get across to cut it off, but nice looking shot for 4. 90 for 7. Swindell's moves on to 14 now.
Really nice shot from Swindles. Mid-on, mid-off, slightly wider. There's always a bit of a gap directly over the bowler's head. It's quite big here sometimes. It was a really good shot.
Flatter this time from Parkinson. Swindles off the back foot again, works it through straight mid-on for a single. Up comes Wood to complete the fielding. He's bowled well, hasn't he, Luke Wood today? 4 overs, 3 for 11, of which 3 of them came in the power play at the top.
Yeah, he blew him away up top. He did blow him away up top.
He's hit the ground running in the Blast this year, Luke Wood. Forward goes Callum Parkinson. And through he goes for a quick single. And he moves on to 8. And that is the end of the over. So 3 overs remaining. Matt Parkinson's bowled out as well now. 4 overs, 1 for 23. 3 overs left, 92 for 7. At the end of the 17th. We've got Bob the Builder as the next looky-likey. There's only one way to look with the cameras there, isn't there?
It's not a bad one, actually. They found one of the builders having a break with a Hardman hat on, and but they giving him as a Bob the Builder.
They're still doing a little bit of work in the hotel today. There's Mitchell comes in to start his second over. That's shoveled away off the hip by Callum Parkinson out towards Luke Wells at deep backward square leg. 93 for 7. So Daryl Mitchell, one of Lancashire's 2 New Zealanders, overseas players. But they've actually got 3 overseas players on the books with Dane Villas now. But Mitchell and de Grandon playing in this fixture. This is looped away into the onside by Harry Swindles, going deep into his crease. Tom Hartley comes up to complete the fielding.
I did wonder why Dane Villas wasn't in the 11. And obviously you solved it for me now.
Well, I'm glad I can be of some assistance to you, Paul.
Who's now at overseas was a Kolpak.
That's correct. Mitchell into Parkinson. Oh, that's gone high. More height than distance. And it's Phil Salt that takes the catch. 8 down now. Callum Parkinson going for a big hit. Skied it a mile. And Salt with a pretty routine catch. Having to move maybe 10 paces away to his left-hand side. 94 for 8.
Yeah, again, they've used the centre of the wicket very effectively and well here. So obviously, you know, top edge pull. It's the field set for 3 guys on the boundary, fine leg, deep backward square, and a deep mid wicket as well. So they bowled really effectively, really cleverly. They've got a lot of experience. 2 overseas players are bowling 4 overs each.
Yeah.
Wood, international cricketer. Mahmood, international cricketer. Parkinson was on the cusp, was played international cricket. Yes. No.
Yes, he has. Played test match.
Yeah, 1 test match.
Yeah.
And then obviously with the bat, they'll have Salt, international cricketer, Liam Livingstone. So it's a very good team. Lancashire have been really strong with the ball here today, and I would expect Lancashire to blast this total. I think they're going to have a real crack at it. I think that he could be at 10 overs. I'm going to go inside 10 overs.
Blimey.
There you go. Maybe not. Maybe it's a brave call.
I think that's a brave call.
But I think they'll have a real crack at it for a run rate.
There's Daryl Mitchell in and bowls to Nazim, the debutant for the Foxes. Just working the ball away into the onside. He's not having much to bowl with, is he? A little bit later on, the short-term signing. Nazim Shah. He can bowl quickly too. Blimey, it'd be good fun to watch, but he's not going to have much to work with.
No, he's not. But as I say, I think it'd be really exciting to see him. Great little signing for Leicester, who've made some really good overseas recruitments this year. They've been really good in that market. Peter Hanscom's done really well in first-class cricket for them. Mulder's a very talented cricketer.
Mitchell bowls to Swindles. That's kind of almost helped off the hip, really, by Swindles. Has looped away, bounced safely into the leg side. Gets through for a single, moves on to 17, 96 for 8. It's going to be tricky, hasn't it, Paul? Overseas recruitment, but perhaps more than ever now, trying to get.
Yeah, I think it's changed. I think obviously that the days of having one overseas for the full season is few and far between. So you've got to understand that you're going to come and go, and you've got to try and do that accordingly or recruit accordingly.
Let's flayed away down towards third man. It's through for a single. Wood comes up from the boundary to complete the fielding. It's the end of the over, 97 for 8 with 2 overs remaining. Nazim on 2 and Swindles on 17. Live here on Lancs TV, 5 Sports Extra and the BBC Sport website and app.
We've got the Queen look-alike in the crowd.
I think she seems quite pleased with that.
Yeah, she is pleased with it, actually, yeah. She's really pleased with it. She's enjoyed it. She's enjoyed being on camera.
2 overs left. We've had Oblivious Cam, haven't we? And we've had Lucky Likey. And Kevin was a fan of Kiss Cam, was he, earlier on? Mahmood bowls. Nazim, thick top edge over the keeper's head and bouncing awkwardly in front of Luke Wells. And they'll shuffle by. What if they run in the end? Is it 2? It's
an awkward one. It went a long way up in the air, and Salt had a really big effort at getting it. I must admit, Luke Wells didn't really attack it as hard as I thought he could have. You know, if you look at where Luke Wells' starting position and where the ball landed, it's not a long way. And where Salt starts his position and the double, he covered double the ground Luke Wells did.
Sakib Mahmood in a ball swinging a miss by Nazim.
Nazim's come in with some 10 here.
He has a bit, hasn't he?
He is swinging hard. There is going to be a, you know, he might be able to land a few blows here for Leicester. He wants something to bowl at. He's exciting, and that's the only way to play now. 2 overs to go. Yeah, they've got to do something, get something. Yeah, 120 we said. Yeah, 40. Yeah, 4 overs ago, 5 overs ago. If they'd have gone at 8, they would have got 120. They've still not managed to do that, but a couple of lusty blows here.
Yeah, as you say, he's not going to stand and watch this, is he? Nazim, he's swung at everything so far. Goes again, big top edge. It's scooped up toward kind of extra cover. Who's underneath this thing? Is Livingstone. And the captain takes the catch.
It's a good catch. It's a really good catch. Strange. He just like he was trying to hit the ball as high as he could. You know, the previous ball he hit high. He's trying to hit it over cover, and yeah, it's a bit. Well, it was entertaining while it lasted.
I mean, he connected with it quite well, didn't he? But you say it went a mile in the sky and didn't leave the circle.
No, it didn't. And the previous one only did probably because of the pace of Mahmood. So yeah, he was effective that he was trying to take him down.
Yeah.
But yeah, Leicester at 99 for 9. Yeah, look a long way off a total here, and have sort of been blown away a little bit. Yeah, in their first game. Yeah, maybe they are a bit rusty. Yeah, Lancs have had a game start on them, but they've looked a bit off the pace, I must admit. Lancashire look a lot well drilled at the moment. It's hard, yeah, and T20 can be like that. You can get knocked over, so it's a long competition, and you want to peak at the end, not at the start.
Wise words from you, Paul, as ever. There's Mahmood in and balls to Davis. Just plays underneath that delivery, which is banging just back of a length from Mahmood, and through to Salt it goes. And there's no run. Yeah, 14 group games, so there's a lot of cricket to play. You ain't going to win them all, are you? So
no, you're not. And yeah, you've got to win. Yeah, if you win 8 or 9, yeah, you'll go through. If you win 10, you'll probably win the group. Yeah, Lancashire are going to be 2. Yeah, they'll get through Lancashire. Whether they win the group or not will be another question.
Mahmood to Davis, another leading edge, and Mitchell takes the catch, and that's that. Blimey, we've seen so many shots that have been mistimed, kind of top edge pulls, leading edges which have looped out just towards the edge of the circle. And there's another one, 99 and all out, the Leicestershire Foxes.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to bring it back to my point. I said it was a road. Maybe there's a bit of extra bounce. Maybe it's a bit slower than we first thought. But I think we're really, from a Leicestershire point of view, from Leicester, you'd be clutching at straws a little bit. It's not a 99 without wicket.
No.
It's, okay, if it's a little bit slower and there's a bit more bounce in it, it's a big field, okay, maybe it brings the scores down to 160 or so. Par used to be 153, 160 odd sort of thing for Lancs as a total on this ground. So, yeah, they're well below. They're not even a run a ball.
Do you fancy 10 and over to win it inside 10?
I think Lancashire will come hard, and if they can get a flyer, I think it's hard. If someone goes at 50 or 60 in a power play, and then they need 40 to win, then all of a sudden, the game can be ended quite quickly. And I think that may happen a little bit.
We'll see. Well, the players are heading off. Lancashire have enjoyed an outstanding performance there with the ball and in the field. Luke Wood, 3 for 11 from 4 overs. Sakib Mahmood finishing with 4, I think. 4 for 17 from 4. De Grandon 2 for 28, Mitchell 1 for 13, and Matt Parkinson 1 for 23. So, as bowling performances go, Paul, just finally, and in terms of and being backed up by the field, Lancashire have been absolutely top dog today.
Yeah, they've been brilliant. I think they had really good plans. They're well drilled, they're well organised. They've got some experienced cricketers. They know this surface, they know this ground. So their plans and their execution of their plans was second to none, and they've sort of caught Leicester a little bit short.
Thanks, Paul. So 99 all out Leicestershire Foxes here at Emirates Old Trafford on Lancs TV and the BBC Sport website and app, and 5 Sports Extra. It is exactly 100 runs to win for Lancashire Lightning.
Room.
How's that? How's
Oh. How's that?
How's that?
Wow, just wow. What an incredible bowling performance that was from Lancashire Lightning. Leicestershire Foxes 99 all out. Keaton Jennings and Melinda Faulkner are with me. What an incredible performance. Farrell, sorry. What an incredible performance. Where did that come from? Because straight away, right from the offset, Lancashire on the front foot, and Leicestershire, it was as if they didn't know what hit them.
Yeah, look, I thought the boys were really hot there. They ran it nice and hard. They were really clinical in the way they executed their plan. I thought the intensity around the squad all day has been really superb. So hopefully we can get 100 runs and just make sure we can finish off a really clinical performance of the ball there.
Mel, what did you make of that? Because it was quite an outstanding performance in terms of the bowlers for Lancashire, wasn't it?
Well, it was really. I think they got a bit of assistance perhaps as well from the pitch. Keane and I were upstairs watching it, and just the amount of bounce there was in there, and perhaps the ball just sticking a little bit as well. We saw a lot of top edges happening. The Leicester batters also perhaps were the architects of their own demise a few times. We saw a few poor shots being played, and perhaps when they were in trouble, just trying to be funky to get their way out of it instead of maybe going back to basics, it looked like a little bit, but that takes nothing away from just how well the bowlers did. It was relentless, basically.
You mentioned it. We were talking just a little earlier about the pitch and the conditions and the fact that it was good bowling, but the fact that it was 9 catches, I think, in total tells its own story, doesn't it?
Well, it does, and there was also some fantastic fielding in there too. I was really impressed by the fielding, but yeah, the ball was just popping up quite often, wasn't it? So you sort of felt like sometimes the batters were just taken a bit surprised by how much bounce there was in that pitch and how much lift there was off the deck. So yeah, it was really good. They employed it really well. I've seen the clouds come over as well. Sorry, I am shivering. They keep telling me this is a summer sport. They promised me.
Welcome to summer in England. You're going to love it. Keaton, I mean, Leicestershire, they got off to such a bad start, didn't they? I mean, when you're 35 for 4, brilliant platform laid by Colin de Grandhomme and Luke Wood. They did a brilliant job, but at 35 for 4, you're really up against it there, aren't you?
Yeah, massively. I thought we executed our plans really well, like Miller was saying. A little bit of extra bounce, a little bit of extra grass on the surface. Just makes the ball sort of stand up. That's why you see a few more catches rather than bowl WW. And obviously with that, the guys trying to hit boundaries rather than just sort of make good bat contact. I think when you play on a ground like Emirates Old Trafford, you can play good shots rather than trying to hit the ball out the ground, play strong cricket shots, and that allows the board to get moving. I thought that was possibly what Leicester didn't try and do, although credit to our boys. We put the ball in the right area, and that makes it really tough to try and get the ball away.
And when you've only got 2 batters out of the whole lineup that managed to get outside double figures, Well, that again tells its own story, doesn't it? That not only have Lancashire bowled well, but they've restricted them, absolutely throttled the life out of them.
100%, yeah, like I said, it's the areas the guys bowled are fantastic. They, I thought they changed the pace for good, a lot of cross-seam balls, which again exploits that sort of excess bounce. Used their bouncer really well. So you'll see in Colin de Granum's first over, used his bouncer well. And that just sort of theme runs through. It's only when you find yourself under pressure as a batting unit to try and come back into the game can be quite hard. But yeah, look, I thought our boys were exceptional there. We need to make sure we finish off the second half of the game now in the same fashion.
Mel, 3 wickets apiece for Luke Woods and Saqib Mahmood. Terrific pace and bounce from the pair of them throughout, wasn't it?
Well, they were. I was surprised by some of their speeds coming in because I actually thought they were quicker than they appeared. They're really sharp. Luke Wood was incredibly sharp, almost as sharp as his hairdo, which is absolutely impeccable, by the way. But it was just relentless. As I said before, there was no respite from any of the bowlers coming into the attack, because even someone like Colin de Grandon, who comes in and always looks like he's going to bowl the most innocuous ball, but he's so canny, and the way that he employs then some of those slower balls as well, just all round, with Mitchell too, it was really impressive. But those two were absolutely outstanding.
I wouldn't dare to presume that the game is already done and dusted, but how on earth do Leicestershire Foxes recover from this?
Well, they're going to have to bowl really well, and I'm going to be really interested to see how Ahmed and Nasim Shah go as well in these conditions, if they're able to employ the same kind of conditions really that Lancashire were able to employ so brilliantly and exploit them. So yeah, it'll come down, I think, a lot to the power play, because I thought it was a disappointing power play by the Foxes. The chances are, I think, if they can make inroads in the power play, you know, maybe the ball will play a few tricks for them as well. But I suspect when you look at the massive amount of attacking options they have within this batting lineup, it's going to be a pretty tough ask to contain them.
We shall see. Mel, Keaton, thank you very much indeed for joining me in between the innings. Lancashire's innings coming up very, very soon.
Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh.
Hello, we are back in the C stand with some more lovely fans. Hello, what's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Xander, just over from Belfast for the day. So
Come all the way from Belfast for today?
yeah, just for the match. So
Also, I absolutely love that you're kitted out. Amazing. Is it your first time here today?
today, yeah, it's my first time, so I'm more than happy to be here.
How does it feel to actually be here at Emirates Old Trafford?
Oh, it's brilliant. It's an amazing stadium. I've always wanted to come here, so yeah, another one to take off a bucket list.
Amazing stuff. And also, what did you make of the first innings?
I think Lancs bowled really well. It's good to see Sack back after last season, a few injuries, so yeah, I was going to say hopefully the lads can go out there and chase it down for Alderweireld, so fingers crossed.
Absolutely. Well, we hope you enjoy the rest of your time here. I've got some more fans over here. Hello.
Hi.
How are you all?
Very well, thank you.
You've come you've gone all out to town, haven't you?
We're here to celebrate Leicester.
Also, can we just appreciate the little tattoos on their cheeks?
Right here.
Love that. Now, is it your first time here at Emirates Old Trafford?
It is actually, yeah.
How does it feel?
Very fun, very exhilarating. Exhilarating, yeah.
Exhilarating. Very big words. And what are you most looking forward to today, or have you just enjoyed the first innings? What are we looking for in the second innings?
I'm looking forward to the second innings. Possibly they can get a comeback or something, I don't know.
Okay. Amazing. Okay, so that is it from us for now. Scott, over to you.
It's a short chat, but it's been nice to catch up and just reiterate those sort of things we were talking about back in April. Seems a long time ago now. By the start of the season, Daniel Gidney, Chief Executive of Lancashire, thank you very much. Scott Reed's going to come in because the players are making their way back out, and he will need to link up.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome once again your umpires for the afternoon, Graham Lloyd and Neil Mallender, and welcome our visitors to the field, the Leicestershire Foxes.
Match in London,
And opening the batting for Lancashire Lightning, Luke Wells and Phil Salt.
From next week, he'll be back for Lancashire for the fixture to come back for. He'll be back for the Roses game. Joss Butler.
But in a strange way, I imagine that might appeal to Yorkshire in a
Oh, I see
bizarre
what you
way.
mean. I like that, yeah.
Bit on the grounds that there'll be even more people coming and watch.
I'm looking forward to watching him bat at Blackpool. I just think there's something lovely about that.
I hadn't thought about that. Oh dear, is the tower safe?
Hey,
there
we go. There's your marketing campaign.
Yeah, marketing is the Joss Butler in Blackpool. Is the tower safe? So, well, I don't know.
No,
sometimes I think I should work in marketing. you try and tell any marketing executive that. I don't think they'd listen.
Phil Salt's on strike. Here comes Nazim in and bowls, and that's driven on the bounds to extra cover where Welsh fields, and there is no runs. We've got Nazim bowling for the Foxes on his debut. He had a bit of a swing with the bat earlier on, but he's not got much to work with. It is exactly 100 to win for Lancashire Lightning, with the Foxes all out for 99. Slip in place. Nazim from the Anderson end bowls. Comes back in towards Salt. Sharp looking delivery as he tries to work it away to mid-wicket. And there is no run. So 2 dot balls to start the reply. They need an exceptional power play just to try and stay in the match, really, the Leicestershire Foxes. I guess with this, well, Paul Horton's back alongside me. I guess with a small total, and we were having a bit of fun about whether Lancashire could try and maybe knock it off in 10 overs. But do you either go hard and try and win it early, or do you just win the game? And if that means you have to play relatively calmly for 15 overs to knock off 900 to win it. It's defended by Salt into the offside, and there is no run. You're of the school of thought that you try and win it and get it done nice and early.
I think Lancashire will approach it like they've always approached it. They will try and blast up top like they're chasing 200, and you can always reassess. I guess if you lose a couple when you're chasing 99, they will try and be quick. This looks at the first couple of balls. It looks like real pace here. It might not be easy. This is express international pace bowling, but let's see.
A slip waiting as Nazim Shah in and bowls, and Salt looks to try and drive the ball as a play and a miss, and it's taken by the keeper Harry Swindles, and there's no run. Well, he is their kind of short-term overseas signing. He's the Pakistan international, and he's quick. He's getting a bit of speed up here early on, and he started with 4 dot balls, 15 test matches and 8 ODIs, 19 T20 internationals. He's really just turned 20, a real rising star of the game. And certainly can push it up towards 90 miles an hour. And he's tearing his way back in again towards Phil Salt. 4 dot balls so far. And a thick edge down to third man for the first runs for Lancashire Lightning, for Phil Salt, who gets 4 down to third man. And Lightning are up and running.
One of the drawbacks of bowling extreme pace like we're seeing here is occasionally any of the edge or thing will fly down to third man, and that is just over wide, third or fourth slip. It's going to take some catching by Patel at a wideish first slip, but this looks really impressive and a really exciting signing for Leicester to bring him across. Is it 3 games he's playing?
Yeah, I think so.
Top. So obviously today, not a lot for him to defend, but he's going to get some wickets.
Yeah, it'll be great to watch. In again and balls to Salt. Oh, that's a really good delivery. I thought he just got a little faint edge. At least the bowler was convinced he had. Swindles takes a good low catch. Just thought it may have just squirted off the toe end of the bat of Phil Salt. But it didn't, and smiles all round, but a nice way to win with a lovely delivery.
He's getting a little bit of shape. A little bit of shape with the ball, and strange. It really looked like Phil Salt just nicked it, but I think what's happened is the seam is pushed up when it's past the bat, and then obviously it's swung because the seam's presented itself after the bat. So really interesting piece of cricket that, but there was nothing from the umpire, nothing from the rest of the field. It was just the bowler. So, but a really impressive start by Nazim there. He looks express pace, which he is. He looks exciting. He's robust, he was exciting with the bat. If he's going to bowl 90 mile an hour and swing it away like that, you know, it's going to be great to watch. Yeah, down the hill at Grace Road, he's going to scare a few.
You reckon he might get a few now? Here comes Mulder to start the second over of the games. Wells is some off the back foot, trying to force the ball away. And just angled across Lancashire's tall left-hander and through into the gloves of the keeper, and there's no run. Well, they need a super special effort here, aren't there? Something.
Yeah, there is. Look, they're going to attack with a new ball, take wickets. They've got to bowl Lancashire out to win the game. Maybe there is a bit of extra bounce in their surface, which is helping the bowlers.
Back into Wells. That's hammered away through the onside. And one bounce out towards deep mid-wicket. And he gets himself 4 runs.
Yeah, looks Wells, a shot of a man in good form. Wells, step back. First one he tried to slap through the offside there. He's decided if he's going to be short of a length, he's going to pull into the leg side. And he looked like he did so with success. So it's great to see Wells given an opportunity at the top and be successful. The left-hand, right-hand combination is really good at the top and what most sides try to achieve. But, isn't it a great opportunity for Wells? Sadly, with Keaton Jennings missing.
And goes again, Wells. There's a man out on the deep backward square leg, and on this occasion he's gone. Buttinger takes the catch. Wells departs for 4, going for another big hit, caught at deep backward square leg. Fox has needed a good power play here, where they picked up a big wicket in Luke Wells.
Yeah, it's a great wicket. Good start for Foxes to get a pick up an early wicket. He's a bit unlucky, Luke Wells. He's gone for the same pull shot again, tried to hit it behind square and been caught. And be caught on the rope, and let's be honest, he'd been caught right on the edge. He was going for 6, it wasn't taken. So, shame for Luke Wells, but it looked like he was playing positive and doing what Lancashire were, trying to do at this target. They are going to go hard and be positive. There is bounce in their surface, so maybe it is a bit difficult for the batters, but there's extra bounce, but it's still going to be really good wicket. There's been some leading edges, hasn't there? But the bounce in the surface will suit Croft. Croft will want to play, will want to pull and cut. You want to give himself a bit of room and slap it through the offside. You want to pull to the leg side. He's not really a down the ground sort of cricketer. Stephen Croft is really effective in T20 cricket. Wonderful record, wonderful servant to the club, and we'll enjoy the bounce in this pitch.
8 for 1, halfway through the second over. Croft, the new batter. Down towards deep backward square leg. 4 runs. Croft up and running straight away. Glanced away off the pads. Nicely timed, Paul.
Yeah, really good timing. It's a poor delivery up front from Mulder. It's a leg stump half volley, which Croft has clipped nicely. Deep back with a square, and really good timing. Sort of beat Aaron Lilly on the, who's quick across the field. Deep back with a square leg. He's gone further behind now after that delivery, but a wonderful start from Stephen Croft.
Mulder to Croft, it's full and off stump, and he just pushes up towards mid-on, and there is no run.
And that's where they need to be bowling, Leicester, if they're going to be successful against Croft, they need to be bowling that sort of length. When Croft is trying to hit down the ground and you're bringing him forward, into middle and off, he's still very effective, but not as effective when the ball is shorter. He will pull across and he will cut. So they need to be fuller at him if they're going to be successful.
Mulder to Croft. Just runs that down towards backward point for a single to keep the strike as well. Callum Parkinson fielding there for the Foxes. Croft to 5, Salt to 4. So we've had 2 overs here at Emirates Old Trafford. It's a relatively modest target, just about setting Lancashire 3 figures to win. All out for 99, the Leicestershire Foxes. So it's 100 to win. And not a massively daunting run rate neither that they have to go at to try and get over the line.
No, it's not, but it's an opportunity for Leicester for Lancashire to, win, boost their net run rate, improve, win a game comfortably. So it's, that's what they'll be trying to do. They've, been wonderful with the ball. They'll be trying to knock it off. But it's an exciting, I'm really excited by this prospect. It's going to be 2 short-lived, 3 games, and Nazim. But what a coup for Leicester to sign him, bring him, and have someone of international quality bowling 90 mile an hour up front for you.
Would you bowl him for basically through this power play?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. He's going to bowl the second over. That's driven away by Croft. And extra pace on the ball from Nazim, and Croft just eases the ball away through the covers for 4 runs.
It's a nice shot from Croft. He just lent into a cover drive. It's not a bad ball from Nazim. Yeah, maybe a bit wide if he's honest with himself, but he will swing the ball away, and occasionally he will create a bit of width. But he just lent on it, Croft, showing his experience here. Yeah, they've got to be on it if they're going to, tie him down a little bit. But yeah, it is exciting stuff. And yeah, why not bowl him out up top? Well, they're not going to bring him back for something, are they?
Well, exactly. Yeah. He comes over the wicket to Croft, who leans back and carves this ball away for 4 more. Behind square on the offside. Flash, didn't it, off the face of the bat. Beat the man at backward point. Successive boundaries for Stephen Croft. Lancashire 21 for 1.
See, and that's what I was sort of speaking about. They got to understand where. Yes, he can bowl quick, but he's got to understand who he's bowling at and where his strengths are and where his success is. Croft will cut that ball. He has done for 15 years. So if they're going to be successful, they're going to have to target his stumps a bit and pitch the ball up. Get him to come down the ground. He will hit square the wicket all day.
Nazim to Croft, just dabs the ball away backward of square on the offside, and Rian Ahmed fields. And there's no run. He recently brought up Stephen Croft, Paul, his 200th first-class appearance for Lancashire, becoming the first Lancashire player to reach 200 first-class games since Glenn Chappell did it. He reached that mark in 2007. You played with him.
Yep.
Can you still believe he's still going?
I can believe he's still going. I think he's been better after 30, if I'm honest with you.
As he bowls, short ball to Croft, leans back. As that's a fizz by to the keeper, no run.
And he was good before that. But I think people sort of doubted him, in the last 3 or 4 years, and I think he's been underrated in the last 3 or 4 years. Whether he is underrated at all, but he's been brilliant in the last 3 or 4 years. Really brilliant and really top notch. And I think that's been credit to him to be able to continue to have that success year in, year out. And he was always a wonderful, wonderful white ball cricketer, but his red ball cricket has got better and better. His second 100 first class games, I'm sure, are better than his first.
Nazim bowls to Croft, pushed away into the offside, no run. Now you see, that sounds like it's something I should have researched. That I like that. So you reckon he's kind of going from 100 to 200? He'd have a better record of going from 0 to 100 in first class.
Yeah, and maybe people do, because you get into it. He would 100% have a better record from 100 to 200 than he will 0 to 200. He will average more. I would reckon he might have an average 40 with the bat from 100 to 200. And 30 with the bat from 0 to 100, and then his career average is 34. So that would be my gut on it, and I think he's got better in first class cricket.
He's on strike, Stephen Croft. He's rocking back, pulling the ball out through the onside, and he'll come back for a couple more. And that takes Lancashire Lightning on to 23 for 1 at the end of the 3rd over. Croft on 15, Salt on 4, and this is T20 match number 228 for Stephen Croft, who did hold the record at one stage for the most consecutive number of T20 games. In fact, I think he still does hold that record in the Blast. No one's played in more consecutive T20 Blast matches in this country than Stephen Croft, who I think it was up to 170 or something consecutive T20 games, which is some going.
Yeah, it is, and he's been a brilliant T20 cricketer, list A cricketer since he started. He was a very good first class cricketer, but I reckon he's been a even better first class cricketer from 100 games to 200 games. You should have a look at that, Scott, and see, can you do that in your whiz here while we're sitting?
No, I can definitely not do that. You'd need like Andrew Sampson or something like that to come and do that. Here's Mulder in and bowls. Andy Zaltzman, he could do that in a whiz. I would take forever to do that. That's pushed away into the offside by Phil Salt for a single. He moves on to 5, 24 for 1. Brings Croft back on strike. Got Mulder bowling for the Foxes from the Brian Statham end, live from Emirates Old Trafford on Lancs TV, 5 Sports Extra, and the BBC Sport website and app for the Vitality T20 Blast fixture. Mulder in to Croft, swatted high towards deep backward square leg. Oh, all the way for 6. What a shot from Croft. 6 down towards the hotel. Flashed over the rope. He moves on to 21, 30 for 1.
It's a great shot. It's a wonderful shot from Croft. It's a really good pickup. He's picked him up and flicked him over wide, fine leg for 6. It's gone a really long way. It's a wonderful cricket shot. You have a man in form, man who knows his game in T20 cricket. Yeah, but it's poor bowling, if I'm honest.
Mulder to Croft. Fuller, straighter delivery to Croft, and that's played back down the pitch, and there's no run.
And there's the example of it. So, yeah, if the ability to be a bit fuller and a bit straighter, yeah, okay, the ball comes back at him, it's a dot run, it's a dot. If he's with an extra bounce in their surface, it suits Croft's game. Yeah, if they're going to be challenging, they've got to bring him forward on the stumps. Anything back of a length, they'll cut. Anything back of a length short, a hip high, he will pull.
30 for 1, halfway through the 4th. Mulder into Croft. Slashed away for 4 more in front of square on the offside. Blimey, he's timing it well today, Stephen Croft. And Lancashire rattled their way up to 36 for 1.
And a brilliant start. Yeah, that's wide and short, and it's definitely cut. So yeah, it's a brilliant start. And Croft has come out and he's making this, look a poor total, which it is a poor total. No, he's 25 from 12. 4 falls and a 6, and it's a great start to this chase. And maybe my shout of in 10 overs is on.
It could be. That's hit straight. Oh, goodness me, straight down the ground. I think he's hit it straight onto by Graham Lloyd. Oh, blimey.
Yeah, it's hit Lloyd. And look, he's got a hold of one straight down there and smacked it. Mulder stuck out a hand, got nowhere near it. He's actually parried it.
Oh dear. Baby Bumble.
Yeah.
We okay?
Oh, I should have a helmet on here.
Blimey, yeah. Stephen Croft saying, you stopped me runs there. There's Mulder into Croft. That's pushed away into the offside. And beats backward points, and Croft gets through for a single. Moves on to 26, 37 for 1. Brings Salt back on strike.
Change of field here. They've gone for a long on. Who's staying here for Salt, and obviously a field up on the offside, ring of 4 on the offside. Mulder's going to have to be straight and fullish here if he's going to bowl with this field, but it's a risk actually from Leicester.
Mulder to Salt, gives himself some room and hits it over mid-off. 1 bounce and 4 runs. Terrific shot off the back foot, deep in the crease, but clears mid-off for 4. 41 for 1 now.
Yeah, it's a great shot from Salt, who's not seen much of the strike, if I'm honest, over the last couple of balls. He's faced 8 balls, Salt, of the possible 24 he's been involved in. Croft has 14 balls that he's faced as well, so the strike has been kept away from Salt. But Lancs are 41 for 1 after 4. They're at 10s. Inside 10 overs is on here. It will change a bit, obviously, when the fields go back. And they may not do it, but Lancashire are playing like they're playing a different game here to Leicester. I must admit, this will be a good learning curve for Leicester for this first game. They've got to get into the competition. Okay, they're going to have to reassess. It comes thick and fast. They'll be fine. They've got some really good cricketers, exciting. Nazim up front here, but they're getting a bit of a schooling at the moment.
Yeah, it's
for want of a better word.
Yeah, well, yeah, you could put whatever word you want in there, couldn't you? Really, we'll keep it polite. But yeah, it is this could turn out to be quite a hammering, this, couldn't it? 41 for 1. Croft 26 from 14. He has kind of dominated the strike. Salt's played a bit of a watching game from the other end. Maybe just enjoying what Croft is doing. He's only faced 8 deliveries. Salt that has hit 2 4s. Nazim into Croft. Tries to run it, I think, off the face of the bat down towards kind of through gully. Just deflects it down to the slips where it's fielded by Rishi Patel.
Looked like a possible change of pace there from Nazim. Rolled his fingers over it, sat in the wicket a little bit. Croft has tried to run a third man. He got a slip and a third man has come up deep backward point, which is a better field for Croft because a lot of balls will go through deep backward point, so it's a better field. Still got mid-wicket on the ring. I'm not sure mid-wicket is needed, but maybe he's going to bowl straight and he needs a mid-wicket. So
Nazim in from the Anderson end, over the wicket to Salt. And that's up off the toes by Salt and drilled away through the offside, and it might be all the way for 4. It is. The dive coming in from Aaron Lilly, but the timing was perfect from Salt. Hammered away through extra cover, and it's now 46 for 1.
And that's my point a little bit about the mid-wicket. It's a really big space. He's bowling within, in fact, three or 4 on the off here. You know, a third man, short third man, a deep backward point, third man, and covering a mid-off. It's a lot of space. You've got to really hold your line to bowl to this field.
So 54 more runs required for Lancashire. Salt just chips away at that total as well, because he runs this off the open face of the bat down to the wonderfully bearded Aaron Lilly at deep backward point. And Salt moves on to 14. And Lancashire Lightning are 47 for 1 halfway through the 5th over. A target of 100 to win this T20 Blast fixture. We're playing under floodlights. It's 20 past 2 on the afternoon, and floodlights have been on because it's a rather gloomy afternoon here in Manchester. But it's nice and warm, and there's a good crowd in, of which the majority are enjoying it. In Croft cutting down towards Lilly. Deep backward point for a single. Croft moves on to 28. Score moves on to 48 for 1. Leicestershire earlier today bowled out for 99. Just 2 batters reaching double figures. Mulder 25 and Swindles 17. 3 wickets for Saqib Mahmood, 3 for Luke Wood, 2 for Colin de Grandon, 1 for Mitchell and 1 for Parkinson. Emphatic bowling display and fielding display. Some questionable shots, I think, in there, in truth. Nazim bowls a slow ball to Salt. Squirted up towards mid-on for a single. Salt moves on to 15. Score moves on to 49 for 1. So that's set Lancashire a pretty modest target. They've been set 100 to win this game. They have lost 1 wicket. Luke Wells out for 4 of the bowling of Mulder, caught by Buddinger. Looking to try and pull, caught a deep backward square leg. But since then, Stephen Croft in particular has got Lancashire well on course. He's 28 not out from 16 balls faced. 1 ball left of the 5th over. Nazim bowling 3 overs on the spin. We'll see whether or not he bowls 4. He's allotted 4 in this power play. A Pakistan international signed on a short-term deal by the Leicestershire Foxes. And he sets off to complete his 3rd over. Croft waits. Slip in place. And Croft takes it off his hip, pulls it behind square on the leg side and gets 4 more runs and brings up Lancashire's 50 in the process. 53 for 1 after 5.
You're not happy, are you? No, I can't say any more about bowling. Yeah, a length to Stephen Croft where he's just going to pull it behind square and cut it to the offside. Like what more signs do you need? These blokes played 220 games. You know, if you don't have an understanding of how he's going to hit the cricket ball now, you're not going to have one. So, yeah, maybe Nazim doesn't. Yeah, it can happen. The wicket's got a bit of bounce, a bit of pace in it, so the ball will bounce more a bit, and it will suit Croft's play. But they had to be a bit braver, I think, with the new ball, especially when it swung. You know, unfortunate. He looks really exciting though, Nazim. I must admit, it's exciting to see a fast bowler in full flow, and I'm sure, in the next couple of games he's going to get a 5-4, rip someone apart.
Here's Callum Parkinson into the attack, and playing a miss from Salt off the back foot through to the keeper. No run.
Aggressive this, captaincy from this. Left arm spin in the power play, 50 without loss. 50 for 1. Big call on Callum Parkinson.
His left arm around the wicket, fizzing well in with a bit of pace to Salt. Again, goes right back, works the ball away into the onside. Callum Parkinson fields off his own bowling.
He's a really, really effective cricketer, a real competitor, Callum Parkinson, and he'll be up for this challenge. And he's been really successful in Leicester in 4-day cricket and T20 cricket over a number of years now. So, not playing much first-class cricket at the moment because of the nature of the side. Was injured a little bit, I think.
And balls, it'll follow and Croft onto the front foot, works it across his pads through the leg side for a single. Score moves on to 55 for 1. Croft moves on to 33.
But really effective. Northern Superchargers. So, Lancs might just knock this around a little bit this last over, the power play.
Well, that's come off an inside edge from Salt. It disappears down to short fine leg. He gets through for a single, looks at the toe end of his bat straight away. Nazim fielding there for the Foxes. Score ticks along to 56 for 1. Croft on to 33. Back on strike. And takes another single. Maybe just happy to try and take the ones through this final over of the power play.
Brilliantly taken there by the keeper. Aaron Lilly threw in what should have been a one bouncer, became a half volley for Swindles, landed on the wicket. He took it really well, really well.
57 for 1. Callum Parkinson bowls and Salt goes back, and that's worked out towards mid-wicket. And Salt moves on to 18. 58 for 1. 6 overs gone. There's the power play done. Run rate's just dropped below 10 and over, but you're still on, Paul. You're still on for inside 10.
Yeah, look, I don't think it will. I don't think it potentially will happen, but it won't be far off. I won't be far off with that estimate, if I'm honest with you. Yeah, there's no need for Lancashire to do it in 10 overs, but I do think they'll be close.
Paul, have a break, and we'll bring in Keaton Jennings. 50 partnership between these two as well. Salt 20 and 18, Croft on 34. Good crowd inside Emirates Old Trafford today. It's awkward start time of 12:30, but some good numbers in. Double header, of course. Don't be leaving us, because we've got the Thunder on the way from 4:30 against the Blaze. So there's 2 T20 matches as we see Ahmed come into the attack and bowl to Salt. That's worked down towards short third man, and there's no run. Keaton Jennings is alongside me. Afternoon.
Afternoon, Scott. How are you, man?
Absolutely marvellous, thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
You must be pretty happy, man.
Yeah, very happy. Boys have gone really nicely today. It's been good to watch. Shot Salty.
Back over the bowler's head all the way. One bounce, actually, just this side of the rope. It's gone for 4. And that takes Lancashire on to 62 for 1. And getting it done relatively quickly. We have to get you in the commentary box quickly, because the game's perhaps not got much life left in it.
Yeah, boys have played beautifully today. I thought we bowled exceptionally well with the new ball up front. It seems like there's a little bit of excess bounce on the surface. The guys bowled a lot of cross-seam balls. And then on the reverse, we batted beautifully.
Salt on to 22 and going again over mid-off all the way this time, definitely. Couple of rows back towards that long-off boundary. 4 and then a 6 for Salt, who's back for Lancashire and back in style here. Lancashire now 68 for 1.
I think I mentioned it at the halfway stage. We, as a bat at Emirates Old Trafford, just to play good, strong shots, I think is key. That's exactly what these guys have done. They've literally just stood, played really strong shots, hit through the ball, just make sure they get good connection through the hands.
Salt off the back foot this time. Oh,
that's a great catch.
Has he caught? He's kept it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a fantastic catch.
One hand timing to his left. That's unbelievable. It's a great catch.
Well, Salt just going back, looking to cut the ball. Brilliant, low, one-handed diving catch. Just at backward point by Rishi Patel. Outstanding effort to get to it, Keaton, and to keep it when he hit the ground.
That was absolutely superb. It's a great catch. A little bit shocked, actually, that that's happened. But no, look, Salty's played beautifully there. To change the flow of the game, actually put his sort of foot down on the gas has been beautiful. But yeah, it's a great catch there by Rishi. I think he's got 2 hands to it, diving to his left, and then sort of stuck out his left hand as he's gone through it. But yeah, brilliant.
Phil Salt out for 28. And Lancashire Lightning are 68 for 2. Croft is on 34. The new batter heading out is Daryl Mitchell to join Stephen Croft. 2 balls left for the 7th over. A target of 100 for Lancashire Lightning to win this game. And well on course to make it 2 from 2 to start this year's T20 Blast, after success at Edgbaston on Saturday.
It's a great way to start. A couple of wins. I think more importantly as well, the boys have played really good cricket. I think when the tournament's as long as it is, you need to play good cricket.
It's just defended by Mitchell for no run.
Rather than almost just getting the win underneath the belt. You want to make sure you sustain playing good cricket for long periods of time, and hopefully just through that. I mean, you're going to lose the odd game at T20 cricket. That's just the nature of how intense it is. But to make sure you play really good cricket, I think, is the key.
Final ball of the over. Mitchell off the front foot, just works the ball out and into the onside, and Ahmed fields off his own bowling. He's picked up a wicket in that over, and he'll be grateful to a magnificent take from Rishi Patel, who clung on to the catch. 68 for 2 after 7, target of 100. How are you getting on, Keaton?
Yeah, getting on. Had an MRI at the start of this week, so some positive but not 100% ideal results, which is, I suppose, part and parcel of how severe the tear was. So still quite a few weeks away, but a lot of work's gone in. Pretty much hit the ground for majority of the day. Soft tissue work, stretching, strength work, and now just building back up to hopefully playing. Yeah, like I say, there's still quite a few weeks away, but signs are positive, which is nice.
Parkinson, Callum, that is, to continue, obviously, into to Croft. That's chopped away into the offside, and there is no run. And it looked like you could have batted forever at Taunton Win. You're there for the rest of the year, I think, at that point. As Parkinson's into Croft, he's deep into his crease and works the ball through mid-on for a single. Croft moves on to 35.
Yeah, the Taunton game feels like a long time ago now. Yeah, there's been a lot of mobility and stretching in the last 4 weeks between then. It's been a lot of time with our physio, Mr. Sam Byrne. I think he's sick of the sight of me, to be honest.
I'm sure he is. You've had a couple of years with him now, haven't you?
Well, yeah, I had a couple of years with him. But yeah, we've spoken all things and put the world to right a few times.
Callum Parkinson balls to Mitchell, who leans into it and works the ball off his front pad through the onside. He come back for a second, throw comes in towards the keeper's end. And they do in the end turn 1 into 2, and the score ticks along to 71 for 2.
Yeah, it's an interesting time when you're injured, because you feel miles away from sort of being in and around the playing environment. You are still very much a player, and you're trying to get yourself right, and essentially your aim is to rest. But when you sort of...
Parkinson to Mitchell and gets a single through the onside.
Essentially, when you're a player or an athlete, a sports person, you want to run, you want to play, you want to catch, but that's the one thing you told you can't do. So you got to sit in your bum and recover. But it's an incredibly hard place to be. I know I probably sound like a silent violin at the minute, but it's a tough place.
Parkinson to Croft. It's drilled down the ground for a single. 36 not out now. 74 for 2. I think you're entitled to get your little violin out, Keaton. I mean, it's your first season as club official full club captain. You're playing dream cricket, and you get a nasty injury. I think you can afford to get your violin out, man.
No, look, I'm never one for the sort of glass half empty or the
final ball of the over. And again, Mitchell off the back foot works it to mid-on for 1. 74 for 2.
Yeah, I'm never one for the old sort of sympathy card. I'm always one for finding a way of sort of getting better and just sort of getting on with it, really. I think at times you can self-loathe, but actually it doesn't help you. So yeah, look, it's like I said, I think Sam Byrne's sick of the sight of me, and I wouldn't mind getting out of his physio nest for the minute.
Yes.
But no, look, I think it's the pleasing thing for me is when you in and around this environment, there's some really good people, and I think our squad is one of the better ones for the sense of guys check in and guys make sure that everyone else is travelling okay, especially in today's time. Guys are flying here, there and all over the world, and some guys are injured, some guys aren't, some guys have gone well, and just taking the care to actually check in on people, I think it's really special.
Ahmed balls to Mitchell. That's a little shuffle down the pitch and works it through mid-on for 1 run. 75 for 2 now. So 25 more runs required by Lancashire. So do you still want to have, appreciate your priorities to rest and to get fit and all, I get that, but you still want to be a part of it, don't you, I guess, and being in and around him? And how much kind of interaction do you have? How much of a say, for example, would you have? That's into the offside by Croft for no run.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to be a part of it. It's you, like you say, first season as sort of club captain. You want to try and make an impact with the bat, but also in and around the change room. You want guys to.
So single here for Croft, but they might flirt with 2. They are. He's off the back foot, flicked it away towards mid-wicket. The keeper's gone scampering after it towards the edge of the circle, and they've come back for a second. 77 for 2.
Yeah, you like I say, you massively want to stay involved and sort of make an impact in and around the dressing room, because it's a special place, and as I suppose as a leader within that environment, not necessarily a captain, but as a leader, you want to stay connected to it, and you want to stay.
Playing a miss by Croft.
You want to stay sort of, yeah, like I say, connected to the environment. How much of a say day to day? Then Livy's captain of this T20 comp, I want him to have autonomy in that. He needs to make decisions that he feels is best for every game.
Croft looks to sweep. It's the bottom edge off that and shuffles through for a single. Ball picked up by Callum Parkinson at short fine leg. Croft moves on to 39. The score moves on to 78 for 2.
I think in positions of leadership, you've got to allow autonomy and you've got to allow people to make decisions. And for me, Livy's one of the most experienced T20 cricketers around the world. I mean, he read conditions and the situation beautifully today. He's a really good bloke in and around the change room, and it's his team to lead, which is fantastic.
Final ball of the 9th over. As Ahmed in and bowls to Mitchell, looks to try and reverse sweep. Makes no contact with the ball. End of the 9th. So it's 78 for 2, Lancashire. And they are cruising towards a victory here at Emirates Old Trafford. 22 more needed. They've got 66 balls to get it. There's been an on-running theme of lookalikes on the live stream on Lancs TV today. Some have been flattering, some haven't. But I think everyone's taken it in the good.
You think, or?
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to be polite.
I'm sure I saw somebody that looked fairly much like you earlier.
No, that was a bit of an odd one, that wasn't it? Yeah. Here's Callum Parkinson to Croft. Croft just jabbing the ball away into the offside, and there's no run. Croft on 39 from 27 balls faced. Colin Ackerman, the Foxes skipper, at extra cover. Not much more I think he could do with such a low total to try and defend. Croft coming down the pitch and working the ball away through the offside for 1.
No, I think realistically, when you get bowled out for 100, you need to make sure you strike with a new ball. If you don't have wickets down, I think it's going to be a really tough sort of battle to try and wrestle any momentum back in the game. Look, I've seen some stranger things in cricket, but when you're chasing 100, you have a couple of hits and suddenly the game feels like it's gone.
Mitchell waits for Callum Parkinson. Swatted out through the leg side. Mitchell moves on to 6, 80 for 2. We were chatting, me and Paul, about how, when you've got a relatively modest target to chase, you go at it hard, try and win it early, but that then potentially brings its own risks. And then maybe you could give a bit of momentum back to the opposition. I don't know, can they be slightly awkward at times, lower chasers?
I think the total more sort of, I suppose in this situation, more 140-ish can be a little bit more awkward. I think the 100 total, if you go hard at it, you need somebody to 2 balls out the ground and suddenly you only need 80. That 140 sort of score is one of the stumbling blocks where if the wicket is tough.
Parkinson to Croft, who sweeps, doesn't get it past short fine leg, but does get a run.
I think that sort of score where you need just above a run a ball and the wicket is tough, that's where you can become a little bit unstuck. And that sort of do you, don't you of, do you try to be aggressive, do you try to settle in? That's where I think you can come unstuck. But I think, unfortunately, when you get 100 or that sort of score on the board, you're always on a bit of sort of on a negative plane.
Parkinson to Mitchell, thumps it back over the bowler's head. 1 bounce and 4 runs to end the 10th over. So we're at the halfway stage. 85 for 2 after 10. Target of 100. So Lancashire are well on course. And Croft on 41 and Mitchell on 10, edging Lancashire nearer towards victory. Kevin Howells is going to come in, Keaton, and join you. I didn't know if that was Kevin Howells on the screen or not. A few thoughts from you, and then and Kevin will be with you.
Yeah, I suppose a different key for me would be the way Livy went about rotating his bowlers. He used majority seam rather than spin. I think of the, 10 overs bowled now, I think Leicester have bowled 5 or 6 overs of spin. I think the 11th over was the first over we bowled an over of spin. So I think that would be a bit of a key for me, just seeing the variable or steep bounce in the surface.
And more runs, more runs. How many more do you need? Well, not too many more, actually. Scores from just moving up to 86 for 2 in the 11th over. I'm just popping up to basically say, hello, how are you?
Hello, Kevin.
And I'm going to go again in a couple of minutes' time. So sorry with your injury and everything, but hopefully it won't be too long. What did you say with... I was walking down the corridor when you answered that question. How long is it, do you reckon? Mitchell here on 10. as he just works that one away for another single, pushing hard for one. Think of the second, they're going to settle for one.
Still a good few weeks away. Rehab's progressed quite nicely, but there's still sort of elements of the injury left in the MRI, so it's just about making sure we stay on the right track at the minute.
Yeah. Croft on 42, and that one's behind square on the offside. He's going to get to the boundary, beat the fielder. No, good stop, actually. Good piece of fielding. Nice work out there from Davis, stretching that left arm and that hand to pull it back in from the rope. So still trying their best, working as hard as they can, but they know it's just a matter of time, and it won't be too long either now. Score on to 89 for 2, needing exactly 100 runs with Ahmed at his bowling from the far end. He's midway through his third over, leaning back here. Croft, and again finds enough space for a single square on the offside. I know people keep on telling me, or I say people, especially Horton behind me, and he's quite right not to be surprised. I'm not necessarily surprised by it, but I'm just looking at this list of players and the squad you've got here for this competition. It's formidable. This is in the air. Has that got enough on it? It has indeed. It's going to go to a massive 6. It is into the crowd just below the point. Wow, that is big, and they're well on their way. In fact, my stay is probably going to last only one over at the rate they've been going, and not even chance maybe for you to reiterate just how strong you're looking here. I mean, it's just amazing. What terrific knock that. Terrific strike from Mitchell. He moves to 17, 1-4-1-6, and behind square on the offside this time for 1. I mean, there's so much power and skill and experience in this team. 97 for 2 after 11 overs. Mitchell on 18, Croft on 45, and Armand then 3 overs, 1 for 26, all part of the learning for him. We've got exciting things to see, no doubt, from him over the next few years as well, but maybe not here this afternoon. But yeah, these players you've got.
Yeah, look, we've got a beautiful depth in the squad. We've got some experienced heads, I'll say, in Stephen Croft and Dane Villas and Mitch. I suppose in myself, Wellesley, Salty, you guys that have played all around the world, Livy, Parky. I mean, Parky's one of the most capped players in the squad. So we've got a fantastic blend of really good experience and high quality cricketers. And I suppose from our point of view, we need to make sure we play good cricket, because you don't have a lot of times in your career where you have this sort of blend of exciting youth, some good age and good experience.
Well, Mitchell is on 18. 12 balls he's faced, 1-4-1-6. Croft is there on 45 from 33, 5 4s and 1 6. And what a stunning catch it was to get rid of Phil Salt, otherwise he'd still be crashing the ball around the ground as well. This is in the air. It's just going to fall short of the man running round to his right-hand side at mid-on. So just one more. Right now, they're just going to get there in singles.
That's absolutely fine. As long as we get there in a fairly short time, it'll be good.
Look, I know it's all well and good me coming along and saying, look at all these names, you've got to then make it count. But, I mean, it's
absolutely
exciting. It's exciting. There was a spectator like myself, so your supporters, whatever, exciting to see these names.
Absolutely. Exciting to see these guys in and around Emirates Old Trafford and actually playing for Lancs, and I think that's the amazing thing for me.
Croft on 45. Can he get them there over the line? He'll get just the one. So, no, it's 99. And 2 balls into this 12th over.
Yeah, I think the thing I suppose a lot of supporters won't see is the fact that Salty landed on Saturday or Sunday last week. He had Monday off and was straight in on Tuesday. So the passion that the guys have in playing for Lancs, I think, is absolutely amazing. Guys want to be in and around the club, be in and around this environment, actually playing for us, which I think is absolutely fantastic. I think it's quite rare.
Davis it is bowling this final over, by the way, and he's bowled 2 balls, make that 3 now, and that is the winning runs, and that is just cleared away. Has it gone over the rope or not? We wait to see. It has with a 6. They've got there with a 6. It's an 8-wicket victory, and all in style in the 12th over. Terrific work from Lancashire. It's one thing talking about this team on paper, it's another making it work out there, but by gum. Formidable, I described the squad, and that was a formidable performance. Jennings.
Absolutely. I thought the boys were clinical. I thought the intensity in and around the environment, I think, has been spot on. And the guys have gone about their work beautifully today. I suppose that's the way you want to play. That's the way you want to finish off a game. It doesn't happen every day, which is, I suppose, the downside of cricket. But look, today's been a really good day for the boys.
Yeah, it has indeed. From a Leicestershire point of view, it's been a struggle. virtually from the word go. And then Scott Reed will come in. But
Yeah, I think obviously when you get bowled out for 99, you've had a bad day, and it's T20 cricket, you get hammered. And I think Leicester, first game of the competition, probably maybe look a bit short of match practice in T20 cricket. They've got some exciting cricketers. They have got the ability to be a formidable T20 cricket team, and they are punched above their weight. So it's a bit of a in the headlight moment a little bit at Old Trafford, first game of your competition. So against a side who's played a game already, who are as experienced and as powerful as Lancashire. So Leicester, a few things to work on, a few probably maybe potential personnel changes and/or plans, but they've been out skilled and out thought today, I think, with both bat and ball.
Yeah, I mean that's quite interesting to hear that. I mean, out skilled, out thought. Keaton, I mean, it must be when you look at how the Lancashire lads have played today, you must be really impressed with basically all aspects of the game.
100%. I think they've read conditions beautifully. I think they've read the situation beautifully, down to bowling changes, shot selection. Like Ward said, the execution of what they've done today, I think, is absolutely spot on. I suppose that's what happens when you read things really well and you put sides under a serious amount of pressure. I mean, Saki and Woody with that new ball were unbelievable. I thought they used changes of pace, cross seam, used their bouncer superbly, and it's intense. The boys put in a really good performance today, and I think they can be proud of that.
Well, the players are shaking hands. Stephen Croft there at the end as well. 46 not out for Stephen Croft. As Lancashire in the end wrap up a victory here. They win by 8 wickets with 51 balls remaining in the game. So an emphatic win. It's 2 wins from 2 for Lancashire Lightning in this year's T20 Blast. Two wins from 2 for the Lancashire Lightning, winning this game 105-4-2 after they were set a total of 99 all out by the Leicestershire Foxes. It really was a steamroller of a performance from the Lightning this afternoon. Delighted to say that Alex Sotley has come to join myself and Mel. What did he make of that?
I mean, you look at down the two sides, and Lancashire have got an incredibly strong side, haven't they? And they just showed that today. You know, they bowled fantastically, bowling them out for 99 and then chasing it down pretty easily. What was the key to that performance? The early bowling that we saw coming in from Wood and from Mahmood especially, and to Grondon, those guys really set the template early doors, didn't they? Yeah, they did. And when you pick up early wickets and, you know, in T20 and a team's not got off to a flyer, you can create that pressure. I mean, the fact that, you know, seam was working, we could bowl seam for a while throughout, you know, spin came on eventually, but the seam did the magic, didn't it, into Grandhome. And like you said, Saqib Mahmood were fantastic with the ball, and then with the bat, it shows how good a side we are when you've got Liam Livingstone coming in not till 5-6, didn't even bat today. Mel, that shows what we were talking about earlier, doesn't it? With Lancashire absolutely ruthless throughout with bat and ball today. Yeah, they were. I mean, sometimes those small chasers can be a bit tricky, but to be tricky you have to probably lose 3 or 4 early wickets. And when you look at the difference in the power play, I think, you know, Leicester were about 27 for 3 and Lancashire were 58 for 1, and that's the story there. And Croft, I think, did a brilliant job in just completely taking a big chunk out of that chase really early on. It was just too easy from there. We did wonder, didn't we, early on, whether it might be a little bit tricky when Luke Wells went for just 4 early doors, and we thought, oh blimey, is it going to be one of those games? But straight away, Stephen Croft steadying the ship. Yeah, I thought they might have been a little bit in the pitch. When you look at the first innings, a couple of the balls looked like they might have stuck a little tiny bit, but going into the second innings, it's flattened out, hasn't it? And it just looks so easy for Lancs. And obviously in T20 cricket, you are going to lose early wickets. It's just how you go about that. So Luke Wells falling early is not necessarily a bad thing, because you want to be aggressive in a chase like that. We know that, you know, net run rate comes into the equation eventually along the lines of the tournament, so you've got to go hard up top, which is exactly what happened. And then Croft showing his class and his experience and just knocking the ball around, and he was brilliant. Phil Salt as well contributing 28 before he holed out to a tremendous bit of fielding, it has to be said. But again, as Alex said, you look at the quality of the side, look at the quality of the batting lineup that Lancashire have this season. It's great to have a play like that in your arsenal. Absolutely. Come off looks as fresh as ever. Certainly doing better on the jet lag front than I am. That's all. That's all I'll say. But yeah, it was a terrific catch too as well. But
just sort of all gone out of it. You can see Lancashire going through and doing this to a few sides, I think, in this tournament, because they've just got power wherever they were. I mean, that 6 from Daryl Mitchell towards the end is about as clean a strike as you'll ever see in T20 cricket. So they've got all bases covered. I did think that they were also smart in the way they did it. We were talking earlier about proper cricket shots, and they were given a bit of width, a few short white balls, and they just stood up and played really sensible shots. I thought it wasn't anything crazy. In all, it was just so comprehensive.
Having said that, we were seeing the ball being flung to all corners of the ground at times, weren't we? But the amount of confidence the batters must have had, knowing that all they needed to do was knock off 100.
Yeah, of course, and when you have only got a small target, you want to do it as quickly as possible, and I think on a ground like Old Trafford, the pitches are always really good this time of year, so you know you can throw your hands through the ball and you're going to get value for your shots. I guess from a Leicester's point of view, they had to bowl very well, didn't they? They were never gonna win the game when you only get 99 on the board. It's just how you go about that. I guess maybe they could have had a mid-wicket for slightly longer and try and put a little bit more pressure on Lancs. It was just too easy for them to knock the ball into the leg side for 1s and 2s, but I mean, you're going into the second innings and you're clutching at straws, to be honest.
We'll let you go for the moment. I think, Alex, thanks very much indeed for joining us. We'll take that microphone. I think we've got Saki just about to join us in just a moment or two. He's just having a quick word with somebody. We'll carry on for the moment, Mel, because the nature of the victory, I think, will probably send a pretty strong message to a lot of the other sides in this group in T20 this season.
Absolutely, and as Alex mentioned, you know, that net run rate, we know really can make a difference. So it was a ruthless nature of the way they did it. I know I said that before with the bowling, but you saw that with the batting as well. It was just really smart. They had the game on a string. I didn't really think that when they lost one early wicket, that was too much of a problem for them, because you just keep going down that batting lineup and see that one after the other, and you've got a couple of players coming back from IPL duty who obviously are going to be coming in and making an impact as well, and we saw Salt do that in some ways today as well too. So it looks pretty good for Lancashire.
The best could yet be to come. Let's bring in Saki Mahmood. Well done, congratulations. You take that microphone from me, my friend. Well done today. 3 wickets for you, but more importantly, a fantastic victory this afternoon.
Yeah, it was really good from the start. Sort of we read the conditions pretty quickly, and then communicated among the group, and that bowling innings, we just stuck with it.
The platform that was laid early doors from Wood and also de Grandhomme, that really set you going, didn't it? They were, 30-odd for 4 at that point. They were really on the back foot.
Yeah, look, obviously, even in the power play, sometimes it could be the nicest time to bat here, but we've got a bit of an attacking mindset, so we try to obviously pitch the ball up and see if we could get any lateral movement. Sort of pretty quickly found out that didn't work, and then as soon as we started to hit the wicket and change pace into the deck, it sort of worked for us, and then we stuck with that throughout. But that over from Woody sort of just changed the momentum, especially in that power play, and then from then on they couldn't quite get going.
And you mentioned the track. We could see there was plenty of bounce in there. I think there were 9 catches in total. That tells a real big story about what the conditions were like this afternoon.
Yeah, it was actually nice to bowl on. We were just tearing up there on some of the red ball wickets we've had here. They've been slightly slower, so yeah, to see the ball carrying through just meant you could sort of run in and let the handbrake off and really hit the deck hard.
And 3 wickets for yourself. Always nice to see in a game.
Yeah, look, I'm very happy. My first T20 game for Lancs in 2 years, nearly. So yeah, to sort of come in and contribute, and more importantly get the win as well, it's very nice.
And then to see the guys come out with the bat and knock it off in such fashion. Stephen Croft with a terrific performance as well, but it must give everybody a huge amount of confidence with the bat when they know it's a relatively small total to go after.
Yeah, look, I think obviously shouldn't go unnoticed. I think sometimes in games like this it can be quite tricky, especially if they pick up a few wickets at the start, but I just thought that power play killed the game off, and credit has to go to the top order for that, and Crofty especially sort of leading from the front with that after an early wicket.
2 wins from 2 now. That's the way to go about it, isn't it? Because momentum in this competition is going to be huge.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got a sort of good core in this squad as well, and games come thick and fast. We've got 2 more games in the next 4 days, so it'll be a sort of rest up tomorrow and then go again on Saturday.
And players to come back as well, because Josh Butler will be with us before too long.
You can't change your winning team.
Right, there's your mention there for you, so you'll be having words to make sure you don't change the winning team.
No, I never said anything. They come from me.
Saki, well done today. Congratulations. Terrific performance, and well done today. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. Let's bring Mel back in just for a moment or two. No, we're going to move on in actual fact, because obviously we have got the Thunder coming up very, very soon. They're up against the Blaze, the women's team going on this afternoon. Don't forget, it's Empower Play games today as well, because £1 from every ticket that has been sold here this afternoon is going towards initiatives to help improve and fund the women's game development. So loads to look forward to with the Thunder against the Blaze very, very soon. Thanks for joining us.